Bonjour. What's up, everyone? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. And we'll go from there. How you doing, bruv?
Nice mic.
Cheers. How are we doing? How are we doing? Can everyone hear all right? I'll take them yes sirs as you can hear. Welcome to full Reptile live weigh-ins. Oi oi. Do you know what? I don't know what that beat was. It's some non-copyright music that took me about 5 hours to find, making sure it was good. I'm good, thanks, mate. Dan's going to be joining us in a second, so I've got my chair ready for him. Good. So I'm not sure exactly when we'll be starting. As you can see, I've got all my homework out in front of me. Nah, he couldn't have got the munchies. Quality banter from Nate. Oscar walking back in the background.
Hello, mate.
How you doing?
You know, I have to say, you continue to impress me. I've never brought notes to a weigh-ins once. Genuinely, it's cool.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers.
You're right.
I'm good.
You looked a bit sort of stressed there for a second.
No, not at all, man.
Just in the zone.
Yeah, in the zone.
You'll get there.
Waiting for Mr. Hardy to join.
Of course.
He's going to be doing the live weigh-ins and also joining me. He's going to bring a mic, so that should be good. Very nice.
Good stuff.
Very good.
Enthusiasm in the house.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
That's what the sport is missing, guys. Enthusiasm. And a good breaststroke.
So let us know if you've got any questions, guys, and I will answer them.
The favour I need from you is to airdrop me one of those videos because it's going to be in better quality and I need it for the gram.
No problem, brother.
Thanks, mate.
No problem.
Sweet.
Yeah, do, bro. Oscar's back, yep. Running the Mac life, killing it over there. Thank you, everybody. What time did the weigh-in start? What time do the weigh-in start?
Weigh-in start. Thanks for asking. Good question. It starts on the hour, so it's currently 4:27 p.m.
Oh,
here.
bloody hell, I've started this a bit early, haven't I?
A little bit. There is 33 minutes left to go.
That's alright, I can do this. Can't I,
You
guys?
can always pause it for 15.
Nah,
No,
I'm doing it for the fans.
Appreciate that tenacity.
So, anyone on the card you're looking forward to, and I will go through my homework and let you know. Why no mask and social distancing? Well, there's my mask, and we're all being tested every 72 hours, mate, so everyone in this room is negative. So, fuck off. Ooh, what's more likely, Ortega by Twister or Korean Zombie by 30-second KO? Probably the latter, to be honest with you, Sean. Dan is somewhere, not sure where Dan will be. Do you know what? He's probably on the bus on the way back from the coming down from the hotel. But in the meantime, I am going to ask you guys a few questions because we've been putting out a fair bit of content over the past few days. Some really interesting stuff. I'll start with Listen, which was recorded last night with Bob the Cutman. Is absolutely hilarious. You just need to get on that. Mark Goddard, Dan Hardy podcast with Bob. It's 1 hour and 35 minutes long, and it's golden. It's really, really, really good. Then, not many people, I don't think, have watched this. Is the dude reading the chat? Yeah, I am reading the chat. Of course I'm reading the chat, you plonker. I thought it was 1080 to be fair. I don't know, mate. I'm new to this streaming. Bobby's a legend. Right. I was going to talk to you a little bit about Claudio Silva. Fucking hell. That guy. Insane. I interviewed him about favela. Basically, he used to live in Brazil, in the favelas. And, oh my God, he has seen some stuff. Have you guys ever seen City of God? It's very similar to that. So Claudio was talking to me about some of the murders that he's witnessed in Brazil, some of his time in jail. I'll give you a small little rundown, but he was telling me about this one guy. Claudio Silva's fighting James Krause as well this weekend, just in case you don't know. I'm sure you all know James Krause, but you need to get to know Claudio Silva. And I'd recommend going to watch our Fighter Psyche episode on Full Reptile, because it's nuts. It's nuts. Basically, I'll give you a small little clip, right? So he was telling me that there was this guy from Paraguay who smuggled loads of cocaine, like in capsules, smuggled loads of coke, swallowed them, and obviously I believe he was going to excrete them out. Him and his boys got invited, and what they saw was him being cut open from the stomach in the Brazilian favelas, pulling out his stomach, pulling out all of the coke. It just, like, some of the stories in this podcast that I've done with him are just mind-blowing. Another one, he was in jail and there was a riot. He witnessed, like, beheadings and people playing football with their decapitated heads, rolling people over in mattresses and setting them on fire. I mean, it's just insane. And it's pretty cool how far he's come from this whole thing. Yeah, crazy boys. It's crazy. You need to go watch it. It's on Full Reptile. Do you know what? I'm going to put it in the chat for you. I don't usually want to make people go watch my interviews in these live chats, but this isn't even really about me. This is just, it's all about Claudio. It's an hour and 15 minutes of just the most gruesome tales. Here we go, lads. So I've just put it in the chat if you guys are wondering what I'm on about. Claudio Silva, stories from the favelas where he grew up, stories of murder, stories of, like, people being executed in front of his face. Our Twitter's just Raptors MMA, but we're mainly on Instagram. Tompa, thank you for asking though. I am reading this, by the way, but I just want to let you all know, because I think there's some people joining a little bit late, so probably me entering the chat talking about beheadings. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's not fun or cool or anything like that, but it's just shocking interview. Absolutely shocking. He's been shot. He was telling me that he tried to kill the person that shot him. He literally, I think he did shoot him, and then he fell, and he was walking over to put bullet in his head, and as he went over, he just went, pew, pew, and the bullets didn't come out. Insane. And he says that it's probably a good thing that happened, but honestly, I can't stress enough, because it's only on 1.8, 1,800 views, which I think out of all of the stuff on our channel, this probably deserves one of the biggest views. So I would appreciate if you did go watch it and share it on his behalf. That would be very cool. I'm gonna nip to the toilet and pass it over to this dipstick.
How you doing, guys? Everyone all right? So, besides Claudio Silva's video that Mystery's been telling you about, we've got loads of other good stuff on the channel. We had a listen yesterday with Bob, Mark Goddard, Dan Hardy, and Bob the Cutman. It's a really funny chat if you guys want to go and check that out. And we've also got loads of interviews on the channel from Fight Week, Media Day, Ortega, Zombie, and all the rest of the card. But yeah, keep an eye out for loads of more stuff coming. Which fights are you guys looking forward to the most on this card? And what do you guys think to the main event as well? Korean Zombie against Brian Ortega. Because this is probably the fight I'm looking forward to the most in the time I've been here. No, Dan's not on the card, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame about Cyril Gann. That was the co-main event that's been taken off the card. That would have been a great fight. I was looking forward to that myself. Cyril Gann, I think's gonna do some great things in the heavyweight division. Zombie by doctor stoppage. I like it. We've also got another great fight on the card. Modestas Bukauskas against Jimmy Crute. I think that's going to be a great fight. I'm really looking forward to that one. And we've also got an interview coming out with Dan Kelly and Mark Greco, who are Jimmy Crute's coaches. We talk loads of stuff about, more focused on them guys, about how they, how Dan especially brought his judo transitioned into MMA, and Greco's K1 days. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Some great little interview. Yeah, the thing is as well, those Australian guys, Jimmy Crute and Dan Kelly, they've got to do 14 days of quarantine in a hotel when they get home. And I know 2 days for us was pretty tough. So I don't know how 14 days is gonna affect someone. But what do you guys think to that fight, Modestas or Jimmy Crute? I mean, I'm backing Modestas at the minute, but again, I still think it will just be a great fight to watch. We've got an interview as well with Kamzat on the channel that we shot yesterday as well. Some little behind the scenes shots and about a 9-minute interview with him, with the media. Really looking forward to see him getting back in the octagon as well. Who would you guys like to see Kamzat face? I know there's lots of talks of Neil Magny, Darren Till. I'd like to see Darren Till face Kamzat. James is back. But yeah, I think Darren Till Kamzat would be great. Great fight. I'm going to hand you back to James now.
It's weird, when you hand it back to me, I feel like I should be going into some headphones to hear you all talk. But I'm not doing that, I'm just looking at your comments. Yeah, the Cyril Gain fight's going to be killer. Have we got any new people that have just joined? Because until this starts, I just want to tell you to go over and save the Claudio Silva interview we've done for after this. I mean, to be fair, they start in 10 minutes. Dan should be in a second. He'll come through, he'll give us his mic, we'll set him up. Did it break, Jamie? Not you. To someone called Jamie. He's dropped his mug apparently. They are quite sturdy. They're a bit tinny, aren't they?
sturdy.
They're like camping mugs, so. Yes, mate. We're from the Midlands, from Leicester, from the LC. Claudio Silva is supremely slept on. I felt so stupid at the end of the interview because I've got a series that I've just started called Fighter Psyche, and we talk about like the psychology of fighting and some of the nuances of fighting, like some of the things that like maybe fighters don't ever get asked, but like an example is if you're in the blue corner and you're going out first, you go out first and then you're just sat in the octagon for like, depending where you are on the card, up to 10 minutes waiting to fight. And sometimes, I mean, if that was me, I don't know what I'd be thinking of. So we speak to a lot of people about the strange moments in fighting, and we also go over one of their fights and break it down with them, as well as many of the other stuff. But when I was doing the Claudio stuff, he's talking to me about witnessing beheadings, people getting rolled in mattresses, set on fire, having people's stomachs pulled open and cocaine pulled out of them in the favelas, people executed in front of his face this far away from some guy that was behind him shooting this guy, just blowing this guy's face up right in front of Claudio Silva. And then I'm asking him at the end, so were you nervous when you were walking out to this fight? And I'm just like, wait a minute, surely that's just the stupidest question. Like, if you've lived that life and you're going out to fight, surely that is nothing, especially if you're getting paid for it. So insane.
Silgan's fight was called off as well, co-main event. Pretty disappointed about that, saying earlier to these guys. Bit of a shame, because I think he's one of the brightest talents in that division at the minute.
He is. He's a beast as well. He's walking past me in media day, and I was just like, Jesus, if I have to interview this guy and he's stood next to me, them translucent fish comments are going to be flying out. Baldy. Without question, mate. He's not even argued it, see? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Claudio Silva. I did an interview with him. It's on 1,800 views, which isn't an awful amount. So I know not a lot of you have seen it, but it's probably some of the most interesting content on our channel, full stop. And that's not because of me, that's because of what Claudio opened up to tell us about. So that needs to get watched and shared, like for Claudio's part, because people don't know Claudio has lived just a wild life in the favelas. He wants to take me there as well and make a documentary, which would be fucking cool. It'd be quite scary as well. But I do like that. Do you know why the Cyril Gann card was...
Apparently contract issues with his opponent.
Oh, shit.
I don't know the details, but that's what I've heard.
Contract issues with his opponent, Webster Gutierrez.
And no, we're not from Braunston.
No, Winnie, we ain't from Braunston, but we know Braunston. Good man, Rockwell. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's the thumbnail that is putting people off from like clicking on it. Maybe I should change it. I don't know, but it hasn't got a lot of views. But it is honestly just, I'm interviewing him and like my face during the interview is just like, after the interview, I was almost worried I couldn't put it out because it's so fucked up. It's the type of guest that Rogan would love to talk about, I think. Talk with, even. Sorry guys, I'm just reading your comments. Thank you very much, Rob. Appreciate that, bro. Shine bright like a diamond. So tell me somebody on the card you're looking forward to, and I will get my research card and I will tell you a little bit about them. I'm trying to memorize where certain people are.
Jonathan Martinez.
Jonathan Martinez.
Street Fighter.
He is. He could barely talk in the media interviews though. He's like, he was so nervous, just like really shy guy. So hopefully that doesn't translate into his fight, because that was a. So I'll give you a little breakdown of Jonathan Rodriguez, the Dragon. So this is somebody that Jamie is looking forward to watching. Webster Gutierrez. Webster Gutierrez! There you go. There's another one for you, lad. Yeah, I've tried MMA. I train MMA. Not as often as I'd like, but at Hardy Warlord, Dan and Jimmy Warhead's gym. Often go there, do some jiu-jitsu, a little bit of striking. But to be honest, it's hard to fit in with our schedule. We had a little roll with Mark Goddard, which was funny the other day, but to be honest, that was a little bit more like a lesson and a tutorial than anything else, as you can imagine. Is Ortega Mexican? Oh, I think Mr. Hardy is coming through the building. No, so actually, he might be of Mexican heritage, but Brian Ortega's birthplace is Los Angeles, fighting out of Los Angeles. So yeah. Yeah, we have the main lizard in the hizzy. How you doing, bruv? We'll share one, bruv. It's all good. Dan's forgot his mic, but it doesn't matter because we are good people and we've learnt how to share. That will work. So we're going to try and plug Dan up in a lapel. Yep. No slagging me off when you walk off from the desk. So I've got some notes out on the table. Yeah.
Try and get me in trouble?
No, will I?
I don't know. We'll see.
Shall I make this more discreet?
I think it's too late for that.
Nah, it's not.
You've got more of it.
Can we talk about Cyborg's first submission? Do you know what? I didn't actually see it, to be honest. So can you talk to me about it? I'm going to tidy these notes up. Swole Dan. There we go. Bit of a clean freak, so better sort that out for him. Right, let me just catch up with this, lads. 2 seconds. Why are the notes an issue? They don't want paper. Probably, I don't know, mate. I'm not sure why they are. But I do. A folder would be quality. Yeah, that would be good. Instead of a folder, I've got a pinchy thing. Thanks for staying with us as well, boys. Right, I'm just testing out Dan's lapel. Can everybody let me know if this is working? If this is working, then please send love hearts into the chat. That'll be a good way of working this out. How does it sound? Do we sound good? Yeah, pinchy thing is definitely the technical term. Too quiet, yeah. How about now? Oh, bloody hell, that looks a bit loud. Hello? How's this? How's this? How is this for Dan? For Mr. Hardy? Oh, God. Oh, my God. Everyone is losing their mind. Right, I think I've sorted it, though, lads. Mr. Negative. That is not very nice. How's it now? Still low? Yeah, I'll get the headphones in. I don't know why I'm asking you guys to look. I'll just put some fucking headphones in. Right, Mr. Negative, you send me one more sweary finger. Fuck out. It does sound bad, don't it? Sounds shit, mate. Get a new one. Sorry, lads. It's a bit. Was it a bit like fuzzy? It was a bit fuzzy when I was listening. Just I don't know if that was translating through. But we'll try a different one. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I got that as well, bud. Sounds good for now, don't it? Yeah. How's the coffee in Abu Dhabi? Not great. Not great. I'm getting used to it now, though. I don't want Dan to fight Conde. I want Dan to fight Nick Diaz, Ryan Gilland. Why the orange mic? It's a red mic. And it's not the mic, it's just a fuzzy thing that you put on the mic. So. Oh. Is that young Cormier? Where? Oh, yeah. Fucking hell. Looks like we're lagging a bit behind from the real time. I'm watching it live. Looks like about 30 seconds behind. Bro, we've been at Fight Island for ages, mate. And I'm loving it. Loving it. We went jet skiing the other day, which is on my personal Instagram. Oh, no, it's not. It's on the Raptors Instagram as well, actually. Ooh. Plitty. The face-offs will be right after the weigh-ins. So we're just gonna try another lapel. These lapels are a nightmare to sort out. Best thing about Fight Island, probably the weather and the sea, and the fact that it is just UFC branded to the max makes you feel like, I don't know, it's just like Disneyland for UFC, pretty much. Hello? Hello? Hi. I think this one is a little bit better, right, guys? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think to this. Fucking hell. This one here. I might just get him to hold it like that. If this is good. I'm from Leicester. Is this lapel okay? This mic here, yeah? Yeah, it's good. Way better, brilliant, love it. Fantastic. Thank you guys, appreciate it. That's good. Good. Well, when Mr. Hardy sits down, I'll pass that on to him. Sorry about that, lads. Honestly, these lapels are like, I'm not I'm not much of a sound tech guy, but fucking hell, they are a nightmare to sort out. Leicester City, yep, that's right. Yo, Jamie Vardy. Yeah, I'll tell him that. Sounds brilliant. Thank you, everybody, guys. Yep, American Top Team T-shirt. It's even got the number. I do like the American Top Team T-shirts. They're very good. Leicester. Did he say full reptile or full rectile? I said full reptile. Where's your mask? I'm not wearing a mask. I'm sat down at my desk. Everyone's being tested here. This is probably the safest place on the planet, mate. Been tested every 72 hours. Nobody in here's come up positive. So, there you go. Yeah. Just having a look around the room. It's much more busy this time. Much more busy. I agree, Broad. So, trying to see who's around. It is a lot more busy this time. Can you guys tell? What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Dana said there's going to be... Yeah. So, let's talk about that for a minute. Potential crowd for the Khabib fight. Like I said, this is probably the safest place in the world at the moment. Have you changed your name? Yeah, these weigh-ins are going to be good. So, let me just see how many people are watching now. Because if there's more than last time, I am going to quickly fill you in on a few of our projects that have been come up and are coming up. Let's have a little look. Ooh, 667 people. That's much more than I assumed. Right. So I'm going to quickly tell all the new people. Sorry if you're going to hear this again, everybody else. Good time to talk about. Good time to talk about Mr. Claudio Silva. We've done an interview with him, and dude, it is literally the most crazy interview ever. Talking about witnessing murders in the favelas, beheadings in jail, people playing football with decapitated heads, people getting rolled up in mattresses and set on fire, drug smugglers having their guts ripped out and having all the drugs poured out of them, people executed in front of his face, even him being involved in some of it. It is insane. I recommend you go watch that. Fighter Psyche with Claudio Silva. So Dan's on the mic.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the weigh-ins. Just a quick reminder, if you can keep your masks on, I've been told to ask you. Nobody likes masks, but if you can keep them on, would be greatly appreciated.
Right, well,
Okay.
there you go. I've been
First
told to
fight
put
on
our
the
masks
stage, one
on.
half of your main event, Brian Ortega.
Here comes Brian Ortega. Look like a right plonker in this. Brian Ortega. Whoa. Shaved his head. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know if that's... Has he done that recently?
146 for Brian Ortega.
So Brian Ortega, Arena Gracie and James Larson coaches. Obviously specialising in his ground game and his jiu-jitsu. He does have very good boxing though. So yeah, first to the scale, very impressive. It's good to see.
Next to the stage in the women's flyweight division, Poliana Botelho.
Poliana Botelho. Here she is, she's fighting Gillian Robertson.
$125 for Poliana Botelho.
125 for Poliana Botelho. Again, she's fighting Gillian Robertson. This will be a really interesting matchup. We've seen Gillian coming into these fights before as the underdog and getting the job done. But Poliana is no joke. Very cool leg tattoos as well.
Next to the stage in the lightweight division, Garam Kutateladze.
Garam Getageladze coming in. I believe Hamzat Chimaev is in this gentleman's corner. We've seen Hamzat Chimaev on the beach with him hitting the jet skis yesterday. Don't you find it funny when guys with massive beards have to wear a mask?
156 for Garam Kutateladze.
I can see Gillian Robertson lining up now in the back, waiting to come out next. Again, I did an interview, a fighter psyche with Gillian. She's a very cool girl. Din Thomas is in Gillian's corner. She was fighting out of American Top Team until American
Next
Top
up in the
Team
women's flyweight division, Gillian Robertson.
gave her an ultimatum. Just like they did to Colby, they did it to Gillian. So Gillian's actually fighting out of Din Thomas's house, which is very interesting. I don't think many people are aware of that.
$125.5 for Gillian Robertson.
125.5 for Gillian Robertson. Thank you guys. Appreciate the fighter psyche, love. Go check out the Claudio Silva one if you want.
First fight on the main card in the featherweight division. Thomas Almeida.
Staying up all night. Thomas Almeida coming in now. Thomas Almeida is fighting Jonathan Martinez in a featherweight bout. Martinez, very shy individual. I'm not sure it could be said the same for Thomas Almeida, but very interested in this. His opponent has been saying that he's had more street fights than Masvidal, which is interesting to hear.
146 for Thomas Almeida.
He plans on turning this fight into a street fight as well. But let's see what Thomas Almeida can do. Art Vanderlei. Rather impossible because of where we are.
Next to the stage in the light heavyweight division, Jimmy Crute.
Jimmy Crute coming through, light heavyweight. 3 rounds against Modescas. This is going to be a great fight. Looks like we have a lot of Korean love coming through. Hello everyone from Korea. I'm not sure what you're saying, but
206
hello.
for Jimmy Crute.
206 for Jimmy Crute. It's very cool. I'm loving that we're getting a lot of the Korean fans coming through.
Staying in the light heavyweight division next to the stage, Max Grisham.
So, Max Grisham. Max is a light heavyweight and he's fighting Antigulov in a 3-round bout. This is the second fight on the card. It's going to be a good one.
205.5 for Max Grisham.
Tell me about it, Artie. So 205 for Max Grisham. So these guys are they're all coming through now. Next is Jonathan Martinez, who I was just telling you about, the really shy individual.
Next up in the welterweight division, the James Krause.
Oh, no, my bad. James Krause coming through. I didn't see James Krause. So James is fighting Claudio Silva. Veronica Macedo did a fantastic interview with James Krause, which is worth checking out on Full Reptile. And whilst we were here, obviously we've done one with Claudio Silva talking about his favela life, talking about the murders he's witnessed.
171 for James Krause.
171 for James Krause, who will be going into a very tough fight with Claudio Silva, who I was just saying we've done an interview with on Full Reptile that is worth checking out. It is gruesome interview. 1 hour, 15 minutes long, talking about revolting things that he's witnessed, from murders, beheadings, people playing football with decapitated heads, executions in front of his face. Oh God, it's just, honestly, it's rather
Next to the stage in the featherweight division,
tingling.
Jonathan Martinez.
So this is Jonathan Martinez, who I was just talking about. Jonathan is a really I just couldn't believe how shy he came across in the media day interviews. So it'll be interesting to see if that translates into his fights.
$146 for Jonathan Martinez.
146 for Jonathan Martinez. So we've got Mark Montoya in his corner, as well as James Krause's corner.
Moving on to the middleweight division, Jun Young Park.
Here we go, Jun Young Park making his way through. Junyoung Park is a middleweight who's fighting John Phillips. Now, we've all seen John Phillips' recent fight against Hamzat Chimaev. So, it'll be interesting to see what he can do in this fight. So, Junyoung Park coming in here. Looking incredibly in shape, focused.
185 for Junyoung Park.
185 for Junyoung Park. So Junyoung Park fights John Phillips. Man like beat. I mean, you could say the same for everyone on the card.
First fight of the night in the bantamweight division, Saeed Nurmagomedov.
So Saeed Nurmagomedov coming in. First fight on division, fighting Mark Strigal. Obviously, being part of the Nurmagomedov family, we expect to see some fantastic wrestling here. Mr. Y Bench, let's not be so rude to our Korean fans, please. So Saeed Nurmagomedov.
136 for Saeed Nurmagomedov.
136 for Saeed Nurmagomedov. First fight on the card, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this should be a good one to get the card started. Last fight card was insane. First fight seems to always set the tone of how the card's gonna go to some degree. So this should be an interesting one.
Next up in the light heavyweight division, Ganzimurad Antigulov.
Ganzimurad Antigulov coming through now. Ganzimurad Antigulov is fighting Max Grishin. So this is the second fight on the card. Antigulov looking very good, very in shape. It looks like he's been on a journey for the weight cut, so that's
206 for Ganzimurad Antigulov.
206 for Ganzimurad Antigulov. Once again, he's fighting Max Grishin. Second fight on the card. That ain't Hardy, Mr. Y Bench. And Mr. Y Bench,
Next to the scales in the light heavyweight division, Modestas Bukauskas.
you're going in timeout. So, Mediscus coming in here. Bediscus even, fighting Jimmy Crute, my bad. We've seen this guy fighting the Cage Warriors. Great
206 for Modestas Bukauskas.
competitor. 206 for Medescus. So he's early in his UFC career, from Cage Warriors, from the United Kingdom. It's looking very good.
Hang fire for 2 seconds, we're just waiting on a transport.
So we're just waiting on the next bus to come through now, which will hold more of the other fighters. Obviously, not all of the fighters can come on one bus, and not all of the fighters are ready at the same time. So the next bus will be coming in, whilst all the other guys are hydrating, getting ready for the face-offs. So we'll be holding the face-offs in the same live stream as well, everyone. Claudio Silva is here. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Claudio Hannibal Silva. So I'll tell you a little bit about how he got his nickname, and I'll also tell you to go watch.
Next to the stage in the welterweight division, Claudio Silva.
So Claudio Silva is coming through. We've just done an amazing interview with him. The guy is crazy, had a crazy life. Some of the stories he's spoke to us about are including murders in the favelas that he's witnessed, executions in front of his face, beheadings, people playing football with decapitated heads.
171 for Claudio Silva.
The guy has had a crazy life, and here he is now in the UFC, turned it all around from the favelas in Brazil. Insane. The guy's an animal. I think Dan's just mentioned in the interview as well. And here's Claudio. He's looking very good, in shape. So I advise you to go watch our interview with him if you want to hear some disgusting, fucked up stories. So Jessica Andrade coming in. Wow, very, very small in comparison to Kaylin Chikugian. But yeah, go watch the Claudio Silva interview if you want to hear some gnarly stuff about his life. Honestly, guys, it might make you feel sick listening to some of it because it's gruesome, heavily peppered in murder, jail.
126 for Jessica Andrade.
126 for Jessica Andrade. She's fighting Caitlin Chikugian. But yeah, honestly, guys, go over and check out that on Claudio because it's worth it, and it's not got a lot of views, and it's probably probably one of the most interesting interviews on Full Reptile because of how much he opened up and how in detail he got about some of these murders, and him even attempting to murder somebody that tried to kill him. And the bullet's not coming out.
Next to the stage, the other half
It's
of the main
crazy.
event, the Korean zombie, Chan Sung Jung.
Chan Sung Jung, everybody. Here he comes through. Slav is stood in the way. Good old Slav. So here he is, Chan Sung Jung, the Korean zombie.
.146 for Chan Sung Jung.
So guys, I've just pinned the Claudio Silva interview. Go over and watch that after this. Because, I'm still in shock by it. But anyway, the Korean zombie.
Hold fire there, everybody. We're waiting on some more fighters to arrive.
So as Dan says, we're just waiting on a few more fighters to arrive. But yeah, I'd advise you all to click the pinned link if you are interested in hearing some morbid stories about murder from the favelas. And have you ever seen the film City of God? If you've seen the film City of God, this is pretty much a documentation piece on that film. It is crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll stop talking about that now anyway. I've pinned it. I just want you to go over and watch it because it's worth every second of your time. And Claudio doesn't get much attention, and yet his story is probably one of the most incredible. Anyway, like I said, go watch it, and I'll leave it at that, lads, with regard to the Claudio. It's been pinned, so go check it out. So the Korean zombie and Brian Ortega have come through. Very, very interesting bouts on this card. We're looking forward to it very much so.
How we doing?
Really good, mate. I'd just like
That's my microphone.
Yeah, it sounds really good like
Does
that
it,
though,
yeah?
yeah.
Clip it on the edge of your coffee cup.
Yeah.
Well, clip it onto my hang on. Hold on.
We've had a lot of Korean fans coming through to watch Korean Zombie.
There we go.
Obviously,
Yeah,
when
my mic.
Claudio.
Look at that.
That's
I'm all
great.
set.
That is great.
I'm all set.
Obviously, when Claudio came out, I was filling in a lot of people on the some of the stories.
It is the wildest interview I've ever heard. I mean, really, I've heard some interviews, but that guy's backstory is insane. Oh, we've got somebody else here. Faraz, 1 second.
No worries. Dan's the MC, you don't have to wear one. So we're just waiting to see what's going on again.
Stand by. Next to the stage in the lightweight division, Faraz Zaim.
So, next to the stage in the lightweight division is Faraz Zaim. Faraz is a lightweight, as I've just mentioned, and he's fighting Jamie Malarkey. I think that's how you say his name.
$156 for Faraz Zaim.
156 for Faraz Zaim. He's a very tall lightweight, as you guys can see.
Hold fire.
So we're holding fire now
Gotcha.
again.
One second, Chris.
Dan's asking security guard if he wants to do a little sing for us while we're waiting. Oh, we've got another guy. Blimey. They're trickling in, everyone. They're trickling in.
Okay, next fighter. First fight of the night in the bantamweight division, Mark Striegel.
Mark Striegel. So Mark's fighting Syed Nurmagomedov. And in his corner is John Wood from Syndicate MMA. John dates Joanne Calderwood. Flipping out. Mark Striegel is looking trim.
135 for Mark Striegel.
James Vick should not fight Kamzat. Let's just put that there. But I'm glad it's drilling into a few people's heads. Yeah, Ortega was first out on the scale. Shaved his head as well, Mr. Disrespect. You should be able to go straight to the beginning of the stream, if I'm honest. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Maybe you can't. I don't know. So we're holding fire again. Not sure how long for we will be holding fire. Everybody would watch that as well.
I'm not using regular mics anymore. I'm going with the pen mic from now on.
I think it's a better look, man.
It's good, isn't it?
Makes you look hench.
Makes me look massive. Yeah. Yeah, little windshield. How's everyone going? We got chats going on, all kinds of stuff.
What do you think to Ortega with his shaved
Dude,
head?
I like it.
Me
I like
too.
it, yeah. It's a
Took me
strong
by
look.
surprise.
Yeah, it's a strong look. I don't know. I'm not sure whether he'd done it for weight or not. I mean, I know like we've had fighters do it in the past. Like Sajara Eubanks cut a dread shorter, didn't she, to make weight one time? It's been happened a few times.
In the Tough House, was that?
Yeah. You can't lose much. You shave a mohawk off, it's not going to help you make weight. But like he had long hair, And the other thing as well you got to bear in mind is sometimes these fighters, when they're cutting weight, they're doing hot baths. Yeah, another one.
Another one. I didn't even think about that, guys. What do you think to the idea that Brian Ortega shaved his hair off to make
Stand by.
weight? Because that did not go through my head. Well, Brian's hair was long, so
Yeah, sorry, I read the weight out wrong for Mark Striegel. It was actually 136. My numbers are all over the place.
136 for Mark Striegel.
Okay, next up in the lightweight division, Mateus Gamrot.
Mateus Gamrot. I think I said that right. Yep. Mateus Gamrot coming through. He's the last fight on the prelims, and he's fighting someone who I can't say. So I'm going to give it a go. He's fighting Graham Kutatiladezi. Graham Kutatiladezi.
156 for Mateus Gamrot.
Ooh. Gamrot with a bit of fire there. I wonder if we'll see that going into the face-offs. That's one to look out for. Gamrot rocking the Justin Gaethje specs look. Ooh, as are 75% of the team, or 1/3 even.
Hold fire. And you.
Okay, we're holding fire again, but for how long? Who knows? Say it 5 times faster. Graham Kutatiladezi. Graham Kutatiladezi. Kutatiladezi. Graham Kutatiladezi. I'm just trying to read out his name. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's it. It's Graham Kutatiladezi.
I was hoping you were going to have a go at this one.
I did. Jamie's just wildly corrected me because I was nowhere near it a minute ago.
What's your go?
Kutatiladezi?
Almost.
Mine was
Almost.
Kutatiladezi.
A what?
It's not that.
Did you say tape delay?
No, I said Kutatiladezi.
Kutatiladze.
Kutatiladze.
Yeah, there's an extra T.
It
in
looks
there.
like
It's, I went back and watched a bunch of his old fights. There we go. Kutatiladze.
Ah, thank you, sir.
I went back and watched a bunch of his fights before the UFC. And if this is a little trick of mine, if I'm struggling with the pronunciation, I'll go back and watch some fights, and I'll try and find fights from the region that they're from, because then they'll have an announcer from the region and they'll say their name correctly. So I tend to do that because we get name files through from the fighters, and they we got another one. We get a name file from the fighters. No, he's shaking his head. But the thing is, it's like if you ask someone to record their name, like say your name, like they always say it like they overemphasize stuff, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it doesn't sound how they would say it anyway. So like sometimes if a fighter's coming out and I'm not sure, I ask them to say say their name to me right as they're walking out, just so I've got the sound in my head. It's not easy though.
No.
But there's someone on this card, the second fight of the night, opponent for Max Grishin. That's the one I want you to try.
Antigulov.
Yeah, what's his first name?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. This one I've.
Gadzamorov Antigulov.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah?
Gantamorad Antigulov, yeah. The good thing is I've called a couple of his fights before, so I've said his name a bunch of times. But it'll be funny on the broadcast if you hear John Gooden say it. He puts a real long goo in there. I'm not sure why.
Antigulov.
Antigulov.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Which is,
He likes to pronunciate
he
certain
loves it.
aspects
He
of
loves-
words, doesn't
yeah. He loves an overemphasis.
he? You were training with John, right?
A what?
John was training with you even, right?
Yeah, we did some boxing pads the other day. He's because he's got a boxing background, he boxed for a while. Obviously, he's doing a lot more jiu-jitsu now to kind of bring his ground game up to match his knowledge. But yeah, he's good, man. He put a little video up on his socials. He can crack a bit. He's surprisingly he's got heavy hands for his build.
Yeah.
You'd think with him being built out of carrots and celery that he wouldn't have much of a snap, but he does. He does.
Grappling with a glass swan.
Glass one. Yeah, he's good, man. He's knowledge and he works hard. He works hard. But yeah, he sent me a message. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "Are you still awake?" I'm like, "Of course I'm still awake." It's only 1 o'clock.
How have you been? How have you been living here, with regards to you being up quite late?
That's all right. That's not too bad. The problem is that like the outside world outside the hotel is not comprehending that people are fighting on a different schedule, and we've got the marina outside my side of the hotel. Like last time I was here, the track was outside my hotel, on the balcony. But the track's been largely shut this time around. Last time it was open because it was within the quarantine zone. And the difference between this time and last time the quarantine zone we had was massive. It was like 10 miles round.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we had loads of space. I was running along the golf course, and like it was much bigger. But this time around, because obviously like the harbour's reopened, the track's reopened to the public, the golf course is reopened to the public. They've like shrunk the quarantine zone down, so it's a lot smaller. So then, like the track's not as busy because there's not loads of people from UFC going on and racing the cars around. But the downside is that on my side of the hotel there's the harbour, and for whatever reason they can put the biggest sound systems on these boats they like, and they just cruise in and out the harbour with the most obnoxious music blasting.
Damn, didn't realise
So
that.
yeah, so I've been woken up a few times at sort of like 11 o'clock in the morning with people doing stuff and like riding around their boats. They just do laps of the harbour before they go out. It's like asking for attention. So that's a bit frustrating, especially because there's a lot of guys in the hotel that are sleeping in the early hours of the morning. A lot of people are going to bed after breakfast.
You'd have thought the hotel would have made them aware of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, it's because it's separate from the hotel, so they kind of do what they can. And they've done a good job of trying to soundproof the rooms, but no. And it's difficult to sleep when it's daylight outside anyway.
Yeah.
Even with the curtains drawn, But I'm all right. What I've been trying to do now, instead of researching right up until I go to sleep, I've been stopping a couple hours before sleeping, watching something else. So like the other night I watched Revenger on Netflix, which was wicked.
Sweet.
And then last night I watched what's it called? The Immortal Blade.
Never seen that.
Wicked. It's another samurai movie.
Is it?
Wicked.
What's it about?
It's just carnage. It's just absolute carnage. It's about this guy that's turned immortal, and he's hired as a bodyguard for this girl. I mean, I started keeping the death count. I like to do that on the Japanese movies because they're completely over the top. I started keeping a death count like 10 minutes into it, and like 4,000 people are dead already. It's like sliced to pieces. Every scene's got like a hand just laying on the floor. People getting, and because this guy's immortal, he's getting like shit chopped off him, and he's just like keeps like climbing back to his feet.
How does he put it back on?
Well,
he grows it.
I'm not gonna give it away. It's a wicked movie. Though. I really enjoyed it.
Did you see, talking about movies, the new Tony Jaa movie, Jiu-Jitsu?
Oh God. Have I seen it? Yeah, have I seen it?
I watched
the
trailer.
trailer.
Yeah, that's it.
Terrible.
It
looks terrible.
It's a shame because Tony Jaa actually did a couple of good films back in. On Back was a good one. That was a quality film. That was probably one of my
But he's
first.
a Muay Thai guy, so it
is.
makes sense for him to do that.
Jiu-Jitsu doesn't
I just can't see the connection.
No.
I don't know where the connection is. It's like it's not. I mean, there's some
I
weird
think the
movements in
Gracies
it and
are
stuff.
fuming, aren't they?
Yeah. Master of the Broadsword with 300 amateur fights. I try and keep that quiet, Guru. I don't like to tell people that.
Sold. I'm
Well, the
watching it.
broadsword is one of my weapons. We're gonna do some nunchuck instructionals for the channel soon, because I put it up on my channel, up on my YouTube the other day. I'm swinging them around in my room. That's one way I've been staying awake, playing with the chucks in my room. But we're gonna do some short instructionals and stuff, because they're just so fun to play with. You know what I mean? They're not very practical as a weapon, to be honest.
And they're pretty cheap to get a hold of if you wanted to get some and learn along with us, right?
Exactly. Well, we're going to try and sort it out. I'm going to try and get some ones on the Full Reptile website, so you can order the practice ones, and I'll teach people how I bind them and tape them so they last for longer. Because I mean, those foam ones. I used to carry a pair around with me all the time, and they just fall apart because like the rope wears through, or
Good to practice with, I'd imagine.
Good
If
to
you're a
practice with
beginner
because you
or
don't
not.
knock yourself out
Yeah.
cold. Yeah. The problem is that they're not. The weight's different.
I'd
They're-
need to
they're
wear
a
a
lot
cup,
lighter.
I think.
You need to wear a gum shield and a cup and a head guard, and they're dangerous. I was throwing them around in the room, and all of a sudden I realised that the light in the hotel room's got about 300 bulbs in it. I'm like, if this comes apart, this is gonna cost me.
So what fight are you most looking forward to that isn't...
How dare you disrespect Nick Cage? You know, Nick Cage has got the occasional good movie, but let's be honest, he kind of disrespects himself sometimes. Lord of War was good. Jiu-Jitsu is not going to be good.
No.
It's not going to be good. What supplements you got in the shop? We've got MCT CBD oil, which is the main one that we've got, which is because obviously everybody puts MCT oil in the coffee in the mornings to mix it up and make the bulletproof kind of keto coffee or whatever.
Tell everybody a little bit about, because I didn't know anything about MCT oil until I met you, and it obviously seems like an awesome addition to add into your supplements.
Yeah.
What exactly is it?
It's just that it's a really high quality fat. It's a good fuel source. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride, which is like, it's just a really good fuel source to put in your body that it encourages your body to burn more fat. And a lot of people are using MCT in their coffee, and they're having CBD. So we've added the two together, and I've been using it for months now. I'm missing it while I've been here because obviously CBD, along with a lot of other things, is illegal here. So I've been missing it. I'm aching.
Are you
I've got
really?
my Castle Grayskull, my black tooth at the front. That's aching.
That's aching.
Yeah, it's aching. I don't know why. Yeah.
Shit.
My wrist's aching. It's just like CBD. I've realised having a month off how much CBD makes a difference
Yeah.
to how I feel, because I don't use any kind of painkillers or anything. And that stuff that we've got, we had Dean Singer search it out, and you know what he's like for supplements. It needs to be perfect. So he searched it out. He found the best, highest quality stuff. I mean, you can get cheap shitty CBD everywhere, but it's like it's not produced to be CBD. It's produced as something else, and then the CBD is like the kind of the excess, the runoff.
For sure, the qualities that you're getting in places like Holland and Barrett and things like that, it's like bottom of the barrel, isn't it?
Yeah, you get what you pay for. Yeah. CBD is illegal. Yeah, it is illegal. COVID is fake. I don't think it is. You know. I don't think it is. I'm not a fan of these masks, and I'm not sure how effective the tests are. Even though people keep sticking swabs in my face.
Yeah.
Another one today. Did you have yours?
Yeah.
Nose to throat.
Tongue, apparently.
Tongue?
Yeah, it didn't even go to the back of my throat.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they hit the back of my tongue and they went to the other side. Maybe they did a little bit, but it wasn't as thorough as I was used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me heave though.
Word on the streets, you've got no gag reflex anyway.
Well, I do. I was scared.
Yeah, it was quite aggressive today. She was in there for a good 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was bored or something, maybe. I don't know.
The woman made
Trying to
me.
figure out what you had for breakfast.
She made me legitimately heave, and this was the second test, and everyone just started laughing as if they'd never heard someone heave while that was happening before.
Yeah, but knowing you probably made a weird noise at the same time, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Well, I just.
You're trying to fish a bit of cigar out the back of your mouth from last night.
Yeah, we had a good night last night, didn't we? We recorded Listen
Yeah, it was
with
good.
Bob.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I was watching it premiering this morning, just before I went down for my COVID test, and chatting with some of the guys online. And I'm surprised the amount of people that were able to understand Bob, to be honest. Because I mean, the thing is that we're from 45 minutes away from where he lives, and his accent's still really strong for us. But what a legend.
Yeah, he's
What a
a
legend.
funny guy.
Have you been living in Abu Dhabi the whole month? We've been here since September 25th. Is that right? So about 3 years we've been here now, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. It does feel like it's been a long while.
This
But
is a third fight week.
it is our third fight week. Although we were here for 253, weren't we? We were just in quarantine for it. What is MCT derived from? Usually coconut oil, medium chain triglycerides. When we see women, a female heavyweight champion, my goodness, you can find 2 female heavyweights. That's the
I can only
challenge.
think of one.
Gabby.
Yep.
Yeah, she's terrifying.
Yeah.
She's terrifying. It's the problem with these divisions. Like, we can't open up more divisions. Like, that's why the featherweight division's struggling. It's because we just don't have enough fighters.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem. Michael Chandler and Justin haven't reached Abu Dhabi yet. Is that right? I saw that Rob Whittaker was set up in his room with his gaming system.
Really?
Yeah, Rob Whittaker's already here.
Very cool. Do you know, I'd like to do a fighter psyche with Jared.
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting because he's got a really unique mindset, very into crystals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, he was shielding everybody with his pyrite the other day. Mr. Talent's here. We've got somebody else. Let me go and see who it is.
Cool, no problem.
In a memento.
Dan is doing 2 jobs right now. He's emceeing the weigh-ins. How are you guys enjoying this stream, by the way? Let us know if you're enjoying it and if there's anything that we can improve on. And if you just have any questions that you'd like answering, I know you are asking us questions anyway, but keep them coming, keep them coming. Yeah, Jared is massively into his, that's correct, that is correct, Lav Spur. That is very correct. Full Reptile is basically about the flow state of fighting, where you access your reptilian brain and you just become a passenger inside your body. You hand everything over to the reptilian side of your brain and you go into a full flow state, also known as full reptile. So yeah, there's a little bit of the history on full reptile.
Stand by. Next to the stage in the lightweight division, Jamie Malarkey.
Jamie Malarkey coming in. So Jamie is fighting Fares Ziam in a lightweight bout for 3 rounds. This is the 3rd fight on the card and will be proving to be a very, very scrappy one. Guess who's not here anymore? The 5-second lady. 5-second lady has gone back to Vegas. 5-second lady is no longer here, so... Oh god. I think he's gonna try and weigh without his shorts. I'm not sure how much his shorts weigh. And I'm not sure how much he just weighed in for, but obviously it's not good enough, so... Here they come, the UFC towel men.
$156 for Jamie Malarkey.
156 for Jamie Malarkey. There you go. It's done the trick. The shorts have been whipped off and weight has been made. Yeah, and I smashed her. As in the rolling. Make that clear. Blimey, we've been streaming for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Didn't know that.
Stand by, we've just got 2 fighters left.
So, we've just got 2 fighters left. Who do you think those 2 fighters are? I know one of them. Okay, I know both of them. So, we have Caitlin Chikugian Chikugian. Oh yeah. So we have Caitlin Chukagian. Not Chikugian.
Kagian.
Yeah, Chukagian. Caitlin Chukagian and John Phillips, I believe, are the last two we're waiting for.
That is correct. John Phillips is middleweight as well.
He is. John Phillips' last fight was also against Hamzat Chimaev, I believe.
It was.
Hamzat's
It was a
here,
rough-
right?
Yeah, he is. He is, absolutely. And he's a fascinating individual. He's like quiet and calm and really intense.
Yeah, he's
You know?
cold as, like, he's just cold, ain't it?
He is.
You ask him any question, it's
A smash.
everything's on a
doesn't matter, a
plateau.
smash. Yeah.
Like it's like a serial killer plateau.
Spit roast. Can't see it on the. Yeah. So if you go on my my Instagram, it's a different website. Full Reptile Supplements is the website. We're having some problems with the payment methods through the other site, so we've set up a second one for supplements.
Zombie is undefeated against bold opponents.
Is that right? Yeah.
Someone's saying.
See, now I'm trying to think who he's fought other than Mark Hominick. Who else has he fought that's got no hair?
I'm not sure. Who else has he fought that has no hair? Whoever just said that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be throwing these stats out when not saying anything. Mashari
Al Gamadi.
Yeah, we're gonna need some.
Yeah. Come on,
we're gonna need some
Mashari.
proof. Can we get Khabib or Justin on? Well, apparently Justin's not arrived yet, or at least not out of quarantine, and Khabib is doing very little media at the moment. He's just kind of isolating himself and focusing on his fight. He's not even in Fight Island yet, because they've rented a big gym, haven't they, in Dubai?
Yeah, it's where all the professional Premier League footballers go to train.
Dan Hardy going weighing. You don't want to see me on the scales right now. I'm a light heavyweight. Dude, I've been trying to get my weight down while I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been trying. I don't know what's going on. It's like holding steady. Either that or the scales are just broken. They're stuck at 199 pounds. I did think that.
Well, I'll
It's like-
step on it and see what it says.
Yeah, but if you step on it, it says 199 pound. You'll take a photograph and put it on your Instagram.
I won't. It's obviously too much of a lie.
We should have it. That'd be a good game we could play. Like guess your weight. You know,
Here we go.
Like guess the marbles in the jar. It's like how much does he
Do
weigh?
you know what? I don't even know what I weigh.
You're not sure, no. You think you're in triple figures in pounds? Are you over 100 pounds?
I don't know. What's
Yeah,
what's
like
100
last time
pounds?
We weighed each other. I was 137. I think you like 120 something.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm over 100 pounds, everybody.
Cut to flyweight then.
Yeah.
That's what
Anyway.
we were calling the guy in the movie last night. We were calling him 100 killer.
It's not about your weight; it's how you use it. Jamie, do you want to sit down and tell
here we go.
everybody
Got some
about?
guesses here.
Yeah, they ain't too bad actually. Like I thought. Tell everybody a little bit about what you've been doing with some of the coaches. I'm just gonna get a coffee and some water.
Go on then.
Yep, I'll get you all.
I'll have one of each of those.
Sound.
They don't eat dirty airplane.
How is everyone?
What do you want?
I'll have a water and a coffee with milk, please, mate.
What, coffee, latte, or just standard?
Yeah, cafe latte.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. You'll have what you get.
Yeah, everyone's asked what the Ortega boldness. Do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes when a fighter's cutting weight, like obviously their hair gets wet and then it's heavy and it's difficult to get it dry before you need to come and get on the scales. But he was first to weigh in, so you know he would have had time to dry his hair. So I don't think that's the case. I think he just I think it's just to get his game face on, you know.
Yeah, I had a moment last night and just thought, fuck it.
Yeah, that's it. Funny enough, I was watching the video of Scroobius Pip put up on his Instagram.
Who's
You
that?
see it with Scroobius Pip? You want to check him out?
Alright.
Check out Scroobius Pip. He's a big MMA fan. I actually met him at a fight club, a gathering, like a UFC fight club gathering for all the fans. And I got chatting with him, and he was like, I said, oh, so what do you do? He's like, oh yeah, I'm a rapper. I'm like, oh really? I mean, I've heard that a bunch of times, as you can imagine, meeting fans and stuff. And
Made him up.
and there's I was in a shop a couple of weeks later and I saw his record up on the chart, so I grabbed it and we've been
Nice.
friends ever since. Seen him a couple of times. Scroobius Pip and Dan Lasac. Really cool.
Good music.
Yeah, really cool, really cool. It's like spoken word rapping. But he did put a video up the other day where he climbed to the top of a mountain and shaved his head while he was rapping. It's wicked. It's a very cool video.
Pretty cool.
Let's see if I can find it. So what you're going to tell us about coaches? that
Yeah.
you've been interviewing, right?
And I don't know if anyone saw the Mark Montoya interview on the channel.
I did.
That was a
Very
good, really interesting chat with him. Got another one coming out with Sam Greco and Dan Kelly. Again, that was really good. It was a good half an hour chat or so with them both.
Yeah. Dan Kelly's been recommending judo books for me to add to my library.
Yeah, he was talking about his time.
Scribius Pip. Oh, there we go.
It's a shame
Check him out.
it was cloudy when he got up there.
Yeah, I kind of like it though. It kind of adds to it.
Yeah,
He's mental.
I've
I
done
like-
that myself. You get
Have you?
to Snowdon and.
What, for a
Ben-
haircut?
No. But you get to the top and it's cloudy. You can't really see much.
Yeah.
Feels like you're not really at the top.
Yeah. Weird.
But-
We should climb a mountain when we get back.
Mhm.
I'm up for that.
Yeah.
You just start walking a lot, you know, hiking and walking and stuff. You big boys have been up in Derbyshire quite a bit recently.
Yeah,
haven't
we head around to the Peak District. It's really nice around there. Probably won't go this time of year. Well, I mean you can if you want, but it's a bit colder.
Yeah.
But
What-
yeah, we should do like the 3 peaks or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and we'll document it. We'll vlog
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, you can do it. I
You
know
don't
people
do it in
have done
24
you
hours,
can do it in
can't you?
24 hours, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I mean,
hardcore, though.
Jeez, yeah.
We'd have to get some muscle on Mystery's legs first, though.
Yeah. Just carry him as a little backpack. Oh, Dustin was bold when he lost to.
Oh,
Korean Zombie.
yeah. Good shout. Good shout.
How do you see that going then? The Zombie Ortega. I know you probably.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it more and more, and I think, to be honest, like what I said in War Room, I think still stands, because like obviously, I mean, like Zombie can box. Zombie's got good striking, but he knows he's got power in his hands. And I go back to the Moicano fight every time. Like he knew he was going to counter that overhand. He was going to counter the jab with the overhand, and he was just waiting in that pocket for the jab to come. Whereas Ortega's in and out, tagging people. He's got really nice footwork, but he drifts in and out of range to attack. Whereas Zombie's quite happy to just kind of stand and wait for you to come to him. As far as the matchup on the ground, Zombie's a bit of an enigma. We don't really see much of him. Like we know what Ortega's good at, and the thing that I keep coming back to as well with that is that Zombie stands really heavy on his lead leg. So if Ortega's smart about it, he's going to work that leg to try and get him to drop forward. Then he'll be able to clamp on and attack the neck. And as we've seen from Ortega's fights, his adjustments on the grip are ridiculous.
I remember you were saying as well. What I liked about it is Zombie's not scared to get hit as well.
Don't care about getting
Yeah.
hit. He's
The
just
eyes.
yeah.
Like straightforward.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
we were talking about it in the fighter interviews because he had a surgery on one of his eyes, I think, between his last 2 fights, between this fight and his last one. He's had some time out and he had a surgery. Part of the problem is that he doesn't blink when he's getting punched, and this is something that was like because obviously your natural reaction when somebody goes to throw a punch at you, you close your eyes and you, like turn your head away, lift your chin up. It's like the 3 worst things you can do when someone's throwing a punch at you. But you can get to the stage where you start to train yourself to keep your eyes open. But then the downside to that is that you do start to get poked in the eye, even if it's a closed fist with a glove. Thanks, mate. So that's something that Zombies.
Nice one, cheers.
it's Ooh. Nice one, mate. That's one thing that Zombie is suffered with a little bit, is the fact that he keeps his eyes open. But the benefit is that obviously he can read his opponents much better because he's not got that moment where he's blinking.
I remember when I first started playing football, to be fair, and they used to train you when you used to head the ball not to blink.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a similar kind of just like don't
Yeah.
blink, but it's so hard not to because
sure.
you've got a ball flying at your head
Right?
and obviously a punch flying at your head.
It's natural reactions,
Yeah.
isn't it? Natural reactions.
But,
I need some of those things. You know, like great white sharks have, where they have that like white film that slides over their eyes.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying.
Mhm.
That is.
like predator mode.
Yeah. Because they ain't got eyelids. They've got shields for biting. I mean, that's literally what they are. They're shields for when they're attacking somebody. If I could have them. I wonder if they can see through them. It's like have you seen it? It's like a
Yeah, when
white
it
film
goes-
that comes over their eyes.
It's when they smell blood, right? Am
No,
I
like
talking about something
as their
different?
jaws, because and the other, like I watch a lot of great white shark stuff. I find them fascinating and terrifying. The thing where like when you see them coming up in the water to attack, what's really crazy is if you watch it in slow motion, their jaws fire when their mouth's not closing.
Right,
It's
yeah.
really
yeah.
odd. So like as they're coming up to bite, their jaws fire, and then they have this like white shield that slides over their eyes to like protect their eyes when they're biting. Scary shit.
From the eye pokes.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we need. Still waiting on some fights.
If you were Michael Chandler, would you take the Islam fight?
Well, I mean, I would wait until see what happens with the main event.
That's what I said. Who was it?
Thing
Was
is,
it
if he
Oscar
commits
from
to
Mac
that-
Life?
Yeah.
He was saying that, and I said, but if he did take the Islam fight and say Khabib or Gaethje, then he's lost the opportunity to step in. Like, I think it's pretty. I mean, as much as you want to get your first fight in the UFC, but if he's got the opportunity to have a title fight,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Exactly. That's the thing. I think, and he's going to come in right at the top. And the other, like, Islam Makhachev is a horrible fight for everybody. He's a killer. He's an absolute killer. And at the time when, this is what I would like to see, right? So let's just say, for example, Khabib wins at the weekend, beats Justin Gaethje, defends his belt, gets to 29-0. Yeah, sugar man, I got to keep myself awake. That's probably why I can't get this weight on. Anyway, if he beats Khabib, if he beats Justin Gaethje, then I'm looking down the division. I'm thinking like he's hanging out for guys like Charles Oliveira. Then there's not really anybody else that's worth fighting. I mean, I just don't think the Tony Ferguson fight's going to happen unless Tony comes back and gets a couple of wins. Because like in that interview he did with Brett Okamoto, he was talking about like, I mean, Tony's done. Is basically what Khabib's mind is.
And the way he lost against Gaethje as well was pretty. It wasn't exactly. Well, I didn't really see it as an even fight.
Pieces,
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was one of my favourite lines, and I keep repeating it. So you probably. All right, fucking everybody on me for it. That's one sugar, man. That's one sugar. Everybody on my case. I trained this morning.
Better than sweetness.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just trying to get through the days. What were we talking about? Makhachev. Oh no, I wasn't. I was going to go on because that's the next part of my story. So I think if Khabib beats Gaethje, then he's done at 155. He should do what John Jones has done: vacate the belt, move up to welterweight, and fight GSP. That's the fight. I mean, you put him in there against Usman or Covington for sure. Why not? But that's the fight. Khabib against GSP. If we can make that happen, even if it's at like a catch weight, I don't even care. Because at this point, I just want to see a really interesting super fight for Khabib. And even if McGregor beats Poirier, it just doesn't.
The only real thing with that fight is just the rivalry, isn't it?
That's it.
That's
exactly
the only
it.
thing that's going to attract a crowd because of that.
That's exactly it. I mean, it'll sell because it's McGregor, and he'll be able to talk it up and sell the fight. But at the same time, it just
There's a technical
same problem, yeah.
genius battle. GSP could be
for sure.
Yeah.
Who occupy the same kind of range? Like can GSP stop Khabib's takedowns? I mean, and this is assuming that Justin Gaethje can't, because Justin Gaethje may well be able to stuff takedowns at some point in the fight, and then we know he's got knockout power. But if we see Khabib vacate his belt and move up to 170 or meet GSP at a catch weight, that's his 30th fight. Then he can retire. That's done. Retire on top, undefeated. Amazing. It'll be awesome. And then we're going to see Makhachev coming up. And Makhachev against Charles Oliveira. What a fight that would be. But then Michael Chandler's in the division now. There's a lot of interesting fights. And we've got two guys on this card. The last fight on the undercard, Mateus Gamrot is undefeated coming in, 17-0 I believe he is. And Garam Kutadaladze is he's a legit killer. He's got Khamzat's in his corner.
Mm-hmm.
His Muay Thai styling is beautiful. That's a tough fight for Gamrot. I think people may be overlooking this guy because he's fighting Gamrot, but that is a hell of a fight, and we could be seeing another contender emerging from that as well.
What's that? The last fight in the prelims?
Last fight in the prelims, yeah. Do I still have cats? I don't still have cats. I was fostering them when I was in Vegas, and it was awesome. I was fostering them for PetSmart. I would have a couple at a time, and I would keep them until they were.
Oh, did you? I didn't realise that.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was wicked. Problem is, you have a cat for sort of 2 or 3 months, you fall in love with it, and then someone adopts it, and you have to keep saying goodbye to these.
Yeah.
But it was it was just so they weren't in these little boxes in the thingy waiting to be adopted. Yeah, I do love a cat. I keep thinking about getting one of them hairless ones. You have to moisturise them all the time. The Sphinx cats.
Sphinx, yeah.
I call it Rudy. That's my name for it.
I do like cats. They're a little bit unsociable though.
Oh yeah.
I'm more of a.
I quite like that though.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You can kind of let them get on with their day and stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you're cool, I'm cool, kind of thing.
See, I'd never had cats around me when I was younger. It was always dogs. I always had dogs around, and I love dogs because they're just like they're your best mate, and they can't wait to see you. And I'd never kind of understood how different cats were. Like every single one of them's got a completely different personality.
Plus, you never know what they're thinking. I find dogs are quite evil. You know when they're angry. You know when they're when they're sad.
When they're
cats
sulking.
are just like stern.
Yeah, that's why you get so many more good dog memes than you do cats, because you get expressions out of dogs.
More emotional.
But I'm gonna get some wolves soon anyway. Veronica and I are gonna start building a wolf pack.
Nice.
Yeah. Cats are mystic. They are. When's the last time Dan slept? September, I think.
What, last year?
yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
Jeez. I'm looking forward to Jonathan Martinez as well.
You've got a hairless cat already.
Bro, I was outside listening, and when you mentioned the hairless cat, I was waiting for that.
Brilliant.
Mystery, James the Sphinx mystery.
Cat owners are 33% more likely to commit murder, and dogs only 25%. Where does that stat come from? Raw dog. Does raw cat exist? Can you raw cat? Maybe we should start pioneering that as a hashtag.
Raw cat.
Shave your head down. Yeah, I might do. The thing is, so I keep getting shit about my hair, obviously. You can't grow your hair out without it looking ridiculous at points. And I used to have long hair. And I remember it. I remember the point where I was growing it out and the different stages where it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I always said to myself, when I had a mohawk, it was always a short mohawk because it was for training. I had to keep it out of the way. And I always said I was going to have a Phil Anselmo mohawk one day.
What's that?
Phil Anselmo is the lead singer out of Pantera.
And
when you go back to the Cemetery Gates, the Cowboys from Hell kind of time, they were like a hair metal band, and he had long hair. And then they crossed over like Vulgar Display of Power kind of time, and he kept the long hair, but he had an undercut and had Cowboys from Hell tattooed on the side of his head. And so I always thought to myself, I'm going to grow a long mohawk at some point just to have it, try it. And then I was watching The Samurai last night, and they've got that top knot, and I used to have that when I had long hair because I never wore my hair down. So I'm gonna grow it back at some point.
Yeah,
before I have to start training camp.
I couldn't get past that ridiculous stage. I was getting pissed off. I got to it, and it was just growing so slow that I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't get past it. I couldn't battle through. But
it's frustrating. Fortunately for me, my hair grows pretty quick.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And that's whereabouts? He's got hair right down his back, none on his head though.
That's as best as it gets.
It's like you got Bob Marley in a headlock. A tattoo artist said that to me once. Yeah, he was tattooing the underside of my arm. He's like, I'm gonna have to cut this back a bit. It looks like you got Bob Marley in a headlock. Thanks, I remember that. Lopez v Lomachenko, who you got?
Ooh.
I've been enjoying Teofimo Lopez coming through. I just think Lomachenko is something quite special. It's.
Is that the same night as Saturday night?
Yeah, but I don't think the fights overlap.
Okay.
I think we'll be able to get the UFC fights out of the way before the main event for that one starts. I'm going for Loma by decision. I think I think Lopez can hurt him if he hits him, but it's hitting him is the problem. I've been having a lot of people asking for war rooms. I'll do a war, for that fight.
Mate,
yeah.
that'd be wicked.
I'll do a war room on it. The only problem is, like, I like to use footage in war rooms, and I don't know whether we'll get flagged if we use their footage. Because obviously the UFC have been very gracious and allow us to use their stuff. But
that'd be wicked. I mean, you could still discuss the point, you know, discuss the fight.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I think we could do that. We could do a war room on that.
On what?
A war room on the Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko fight. Yeah. Maybe I'll do an aftermath on it instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
After smash. I can't keep up with this. It's a young Dan Hardy v Khamzat. There is no longer a young Dan Hardy unless you can find one. Islam is not going to fight anybody as far as I know. No, I think... I don't think they're going to get anybody for him. That's the word on the street. That's what I'm hearing. Which is a shame because I was looking forward to watching Islam fight.
I was looking forward to Cyril Gann as well.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was a bit of a shame.
What the fuck, PFL? I mean, like, release a fighter. Like, it doesn't benefit anybody to keep fighters under contract. Like, there was a fighter on the card last week, Dricus Duplessis. He was contracted to another. I won't say the organisation, but you'll probably know who it is. But he had to pay a percentage of his purse to the organisation in order to be able to fight in the UFC. It just pisses me right off. Like, the promoters should not be the people slowing the sport down. And the fact that we had a heavyweight here ready to go this weekend, and now he's in a contract dispute with another organisation, it's always going to discourage fighters from signing with them. Like, and that was the thing about Cage Warriors, which was always good. Is like, if you get signed to the UFC, if you get an offer from the UFC, they're like, go. Like, go and do it, which is why they've got, 100 fighters from Cage Warriors crossed over to the UFC. Like, you're not competing with the UFC PFL. It's ridiculous. Like, know your place. Like, there's a pecking order to this world, and the UFC is at the top. So, like, for wherever fighters are progressing, you want those fighters to keep progressing till they get to the UFC. Because, like, we've got Mateus Gamrot on the card. He's 17-0. He's never fought an easy opponent. Every single person he's fought has been a winning record, a good fighter. But, like, we're just getting him in the UFC now. The thing is, if he looks really good, that always reflects well on the other organisations.
I was going to say, it only benefits them, really, because if they've got a load of good talent coming through and transitioning over to the UFC, then surely it looks good on where they've come from.
Exactly.
Not only does it look good on the promotion, but it's a good thing for fighters, upcoming fighters, to know that this is a good promotion to go to because it's a stepping stone towards the UFC.
Exactly that. Because, like, no one's signing for the PFL because they want to be PFL champ.
They're signing to get £1 million, and
exactly.
that's it.
They're signing for the money, and they're signing to get fights so they can keep progressing towards the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a fighter on the planet that's like, oh yeah, no, I want to be the best MMA fighter in the world, but I don't want to fight for the UFC. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
It doesn't make any sense.
Zabit versus Yair.
Yeah, that for me that has to be over 5 rounds. It has to be over 5 rounds. We've seen Yair look great over 5 rounds. I mean, his knockout over Korean Zombie was incredible. And I'm a big fan of Zabit and Mark Henry's coaching style. And my concern is that Zabit at 145, it just doesn't have it in the tank for 5 rounds. Because, like, he looked great in the first and second, and he slows down in the third.
Yeah.
And that Calvin Kattar fight was a main event, but that should have been over 5 rounds with it being a main event. And it was reduced to 3 rounds because of the short notice nature of it. But a 5-round fight, had it gone the distance, Calvin Kattar was starting to take over, you know? And you get sick of hearing me saying it. If you're going to fight for a title at some point, you've got to step on the scales on championship weight and do 5 rounds, or at least be booked for 5 rounds. And I need to see it. I need to see it because for what he does, he's incredible. But what I hear all the time is that in the gym as a welterweight, he's a killer. So I think going up to 155. I mean, he's like 6'4" anyway. You know, go up to 155. He'll be a killer at 155. Yeah. Oh, I'm not getting them into American politics. I feel sorry for all of you out there in America. I hope for the best and just stick together. people are trying to divide you at the moment. There's so much divisive shit going on in America at the moment, and it kills me to watch because I love America. I love Americans, and yeah, it's sad for me to watch it. That's what politics does. It divides people. Like, anybody get into history, go back in the history books. It's the best way of controlling a country is to divide the people. And I've never seen America more divided than it is now, and it doesn't surprise me with the current political climate. Start listening to some AOC, Ocasio-Cortez. She's wicked, really good. And Katie Porter, they're just slaying people in the Senate. I've been watching some of that recently, yeah.
All right, bro.
What do I think about Chandler taking the number 1 spot? I'm excited to see him fight. You know, the thing is with Michael Chandler, he's got an exciting style, which is why we're all excited to see him in here. But it's exciting because it's risky, and that's what I need to see. I need to see where he's at in the UFC. Because like that style, he reminds me a lot of Eddie Alvarez, the way that he fights. And Eddie Alvarez is a lot of fun, but he's got a risky style, and it's cost him a couple of times. He gets drawn into wars when he doesn't need to.
Yeah, I can see that happening with Chandler. Most underrated fight on here.
Dimebag or Eddie? Oh, you can't do that to me. Eddie Van Halen's a legend, but Dimebag's got a special place in my heart. And to get shot on stage. Dan Hardy's a leftist. I'm not anything. I don't believe in government. I get my anonymous mask out in a second. I just want to see people get on and be united. One person can't control a country as big as America. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, I'm not getting into politics. That's for another time. That'll be a legit war room one day.
Politics in sports is when things can get even worse.
This is the problem. Like, I follow so many fighters, so many UFC fighters, and their feed's been taken over by their political opinions, which you know, I mean, obviously everybody's entitled to it. But the fact that it's creeping into sport is what really upsets me.
I agree, mate.
Like, sport is what unites people, you know.
For sure. The problem with it going into sport for me isn't really that. Like, people can believe and stand for whatever they want, but it's when it's now coming to the point where you're not allowed to support Colby Covington without it meaning X and Y. And that's when things are just a little bit like poisoned for me. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. Is that the full Reptile logo is not Masonic? No, I am not a Freemason. I have no interest in joining the Freemasons. They can join the collective if they want, but I don't think that's going to happen. From what I've seen, the Freemasons and the people that I know, they like antiques and alcohol, and that's it. Like, there's this whole thing about Freemasons and this and that, and yeah, maybe they were at some point in history, you know, springing from the Knights Templars. You know why the Freemasons were so powerful? No. Because they had they understood the geometry of how to build religious structures. That's what it is. So arches and stuff in churches. They understood all that kind of stuff, which is one of the reasons why they had such power, because the church gave them that power.
That's very interesting. I didn't realise that.
I've got all kinds of useless information in my head. When's Veronica fighting next? She's going to kick my ass if I don't get home soon, that's for sure. She'll be fighting again soon. She's rebuilding at the moment. Am I a Buddhist? I'm not anything, honestly. I like a lot of Buddhist philosophy. As you can see, I wear this a lot. I have another one I'm wearing. 108 beads. I use this for meditation, but it's more of a reminder to not be a prick every day.
To answer what fight do I think will end in a finish, I don't see the James Krause and Claudio Silva fight going the whole rounds. I think someone getting submitted.
It's going to be a lot of fun, that one is. I was watching James Krause against Sergio Moraes, and I think that's his main focus. He's going to be trying to shut Claudio down and drag it into the later rounds. I'm excited for that one. The thing is, in that one, I love both of those guys. They're both very different mentalities. James Krause is an excellent coach. Claudio Silva's an absolute gangster, and in the real sense of the word.
Yeah.
If you've not seen that interview, go and watch it. It's incredible. That first fight of the night is one of the ones I'm most interested in.
Why is that? How much into the family of the Nurmagomedovs is Saeed? Is he like a first member?
I think he's a cousin. I think he's Khabib's cousin, like direct cousin. Somebody may be able to correct me, but I'm pretty sure Saeed Nurmagomedov's auntie is Khabib's mother.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's right. But that is a hell of a fight, because obviously Saeed's got a reputation, partly based on his ability, partly based on his name. Mark Striegel coming in is 18-2, but Striegel's legit. He is a legitimate threat, not only to Nurmagomedov but to the bantamweight division.
How long's he been in the UFC?
This is his debut.
Right. Where was he before?
He's been floating around. He's fought in ONE and a few other organisations
Okay.
around Asia. He lives in the Philippines, as someone just gives him a shout out.
Webster
there.
Gutierrez.
Yeah, he's an excellent fighter. Good wrestling. Southpaw. Used his lead right hook to scoop people onto his power left. But the thing that stands out about his game is scarf hold chokes. It's an unusual position, because most people won't put themselves in that position because there's a potential to give the back. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what a scarf hold choke is?
No.
So just put your mic down a second.
Okay, here we go.
Promise I won't goddard you.
No, you're welcome to.
Turn face that way. No, this way. So like in a scarf hold choke, I'm in the side control position and I'm controlling you like that. That's a scarf hold position. So you're laying on the canvas, but I've got to control your head and arm. And what he does is he then twists this down to create an Americana lock.
Right. Okay.
That's what he's doing. He's got 3 on his record.
I've heard of it. I just didn't know the technicals.
Well, it's a control position that they use a lot in judo. It's a really strong control position, but it also helps when someone's got a gi on, and you can grab their elbow material. You know what I mean? And pull them into it.
One interesting thing, sorry to interrupt, was when I was talking with Sijara Eubanks, she was talking to me about the importance of gi. And a lot of people, I've heard from a lot of different people that, they're not that interested in rolling in gi because the no gi is to them more appropriate for MMA.
Yeah.
So she was explaining to me why the gi is important for MMA. And I thought it was really interesting. And an example was, okay, let's say you've got an armbar, right? The simple thing to do in no gi is just to pull out, right?
Yeah.
But when you've got an armbar in gi, that's not really an option.
Yeah.
So then you have to work out other ways in which you can escape the armbar, therefore advancing, how many options you have to get out of something, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously I'm a noob, so.
The thing is, I think it's fascinating that people want to learn the traditional martial arts, and working in a gi, it slows the jiu-jitsu game down. It forces you to focus on the correct technique for escapes, absolutely. But at the same time, honestly, I kind of, as useful as it is, there's so much that you would have to drop out to cross over to MMA. So much stuff that's just not of use to you if you train in a gi, that I kind of feel like it's like, running in flip-flops to get better at the 100 meters. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I do know what you mean. That's a funny
And
analogy.
the thing is as well, if you want to be a legitimate black belt in jiu-jitsu, absolutely train in a gi. If you want to be an MMA world champion, learn MMA. You don't need to go through all the traditional martial arts. I look back to Taekwondo, and I love Taekwondo. I trained it for 17 years. I learned so much that I can't use in MMA. And it's the same with every style. And you know me, I love traditional styles. I'm going back and learning Wing Chun again.
I've been having a go as well. It's good fun,
forearms, right? I love training traditional styles, and I love the value of traditional styles. My concern is it's a factor of time. It's a factor of time. And if you've got one person that is learning MMA as a system in itself, grip control, same thing again. You've got to learn how to control a sweaty bare skin, and not it gives you false handles that aren't there when you train in MMA. And that's why we see jiu-jitsu guys, they hook down the ends of the gloves, they grab shorts and stuff, because it's what's instinctive to them. it's just a time thing. Like if I've got two kids that starting when training when they're 5, they both want to be a UFC champion. I put one of them into traditional Brazilian jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, and I put one of them into MMA. The one doing traditional jiu-jitsu and say they're doing kickboxing or taekwondo or whatever else, they're going to spend 40% of the time learning a bunch of junk that they just don't need in MMA. It's just a streamlining thing. That's all it is. I've no problem with it. I love the traditional arts, and absolutely, if you want to be a jiu-jitsu whiz, go and learn the gi, because you can really delve into the details of it. But when you cross over to MMA, the reality is you're going to have to lose 40-50% of what you've learned just because you don't have the grips and stuff.
Yeah.
Conditioning wise, training wise, it's great. It certainly does slow things down, and it certainly cuts down people's opportunity to like power out of things. Like a lot of the fighters say, oh yeah, well, I'm expecting him to try and horsepower out of it. So like, if someone's caught in a submission, they can just roar it out of it, as some people will say. Yeah. But that's the reality of the sport. And the thing is, like, if you get used to controlling somebody in a gi, and then they take the gi off, and then you've got to try and control them without a gi, that horsepower is making a difference. Sweat makes a difference. Like, power, strength makes a difference. And it's purely just a time factor. Like, if I'm streamlining, if I'm absorbing what is useful and rejecting what is useless, I'm cutting 50% out of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for MMA,
Yeah, dude, it makes a lot of sense. I wish I could have said that back to her.
But it's always interesting to hear people's opinions on things.
Definitely.
And people have different ways of preparing. And I've got no problem with focusing on specific things. But if I'm focusing on Taekwondo specifically, I'm focusing on Taekwondo for MMA and not Taekwondo for Taekwondo, because they're just different things. And like that kick that Buckley worked the other week, it's a Taekwondo technique, but at the same time it's not, because you can't grab feet in Taekwondo. You can't catch legs in Taekwondo. So no one's going to catch a foot to allow him. No, you can't do it.
Why is that?
It's just part of the rules. Yeah, it's part of the rules. Wow. But then you watch Taekwondo, and the guys are, 6'5", 150 pounds, hands down, bouncing on the side. Again, it's just not applicable for MMA. It's loads of good fighters coming out of Spain. Yoel Alvarez is on the card next week. Ilia Topuria looked amazing. Yeah, that's my thought on it. And I've trained in gi. I enjoyed it. I got to my purple belt in it, but there's so much of it that I just discard, just throw out the window, because I'm not interested in being great at jiu-jitsu. I'm interested in being great at fighting, and so I'm going to streamline it as much as possible.
Yeah, no, that does make a lot of sense. So Eddie Bravo wears gi pants.
He does.
Yeah, what's his reasoning for that? Because obviously you've spent a lot of time with Eddie, rolled with him.
It's for grip.
Yeah.
It's for grip. Like, and if you go back and watch any of the old 10th Planet guys coming out, George Soteropoulos is a good example. He'll wear anklets and knee sleeves, not because he needs the support on those limbs, but because it gives him some purchase when someone's sweating. And that's the same thing, It's like that's the difference with the gi and a no gi, is like sweat becomes a factor. So wearing sleeves on your limbs is going to help slow somebody down. You can't wear gi pants. Like, you watch Shinya Aoki, and Aoki is one of the best rubber guard practitioners in MMA. But whenever he gets the opportunity, he wears spats, he wears tights, because it allows him to wrap people up and control them, even though sweat's a factor. And Eddie always wore a rash guard top and gi bottoms. Every time I rolled with him. In fact, the only time I've been cut, I had 3 stitches right after the fight. I flew straight out to America to train. A week in, I was just so annoyed with the stitches. I took them out and went back to training. And I was rolling with Eddie, and it was the seam of his gi pants that opened the cut up again. Oh, God. Whereas if he had shorts on, that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Because I would have been able to slide out of the triangle. But it does make a difference, but it's got to be specific for the sport, and that's my opinion on it. So who we got left to weigh in? We've got John Phillips and Caitlin Chukagian. Oh, and we're getting a nod here. Somebody's coming up.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a moment.
Awesome. Well, that was cool. How we doing, everyone? The source. Stop trying to get me in trouble. Have you rolled? Ah, that's a good question. I'll ask him that. Arty lad. You and Eddie get stoned and rolled. Yeah, come on, man. You know they did. Hey, everybody. So... yeah, mate. We've been waiting 2 hours for everybody to get in. Hey, Thomas. Or Toms. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you again. Thanks again, everyone, for joining our live stream. Caitlin Chikagian is here. So Caitlin is very cool. I like this. I like this lady a lot. I was talking to her on the beach, and we were talking about psilocybin, and she's at her gum shield is has magic mushrooms on them.
The scale, one half of your co-main event in the flyweight division, Caitlin Chikagian.
Here's Caitlin Chikagian and Sijara Eubanks. So Sijara is in Caitlin's corner. Interesting fact, Sijara and Caitlin fought outside of the UFC promotion. Again, you can go see that interview I did with Sijara on Full Reptile. There's Caitlin, she's looking good. I think Caitlin's...
126 for Caitlin Chikagian.
Caitlin's fighting, what's her face? Jessica Andrade. I think this is going to be... I imagine Caitlin's going to take this. But yeah, great. And another great interview is Sijara Eubanks. It was really cool. She had a jet ski crash while she's been here, and she's mashed up her face big time.
Just waiting on the last fighter. He's on his way, and then we'll do face-offs.
So we're just waiting for John Phillips now. But as I was saying, Caitlin Chikagian, Chikagian, not Kugian. Caitlin Chikagian. I was on the beach with Caitlin, and we ended up talking about psilocybin, and she showed me a gum shield, and her gum shield has just got magic mushrooms all over them. Yeah,
Who?
Caitlin's.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
Immediately friends.
Yeah, innit, man?
That's how it works. That's how it works.
In the press conference, I'm going to ask her about that. I always forget what that means. ASMR.
I don't know what it means.
ASMR. What does that mean
kind of
again?
rifle.
Is that asthma?
Tough fight for her. I think Andrade is going to walk her down. Yeah, she'll walk her down. But Caitlin Chikagian's got good footwork. She moves laterally very well, but she only moves when she needs to as well. She doesn't move out of habit. She moves to set things up, pick angles. And what we've seen from David Silva, and what we've seen from Andrade is that she walks in a circle, chasing people down. The cutting off and forcing people up against the fence is what she needs to force people to really deal with that power. Like, I mean, she's a heavy-handed fighter, definitely. As she pushes people back, if they allow themselves to get backed up against the fence, she's lethal. But have I ever tripped? Johnny Burrito, you need to read my book, my friend. Chapter 7's a bit mental.
I think Caitlin might do this with a knee knockout.
You reckon?
Yeah, as she's closing in.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because she's very small
She is.
compared to
And she stands low
Caitlin.
as
Yep,
well.
yep. I think she could walk into a few knees.
Caitlin's got a really good rear uppercut as well.
Has she?
Which is an unusual punch. You don't see it very often in MMA because it's so risky. Because most of the time you see it coming, and as you're throwing it, you're exploding yourself on it. And we were talking about it on the podcast.
The one
with
that
Mark.
is that the right one?
Yeah, it's the one I've just never been
Yeah.
able to land it very well. It's something I've always worked on. We were talking about it with Goddard the other day. Chris Eubank and Masato, they're my two favourites. They just straight up that centre line. But a lot of the time with that punch, you'll slip the jab. You'll be fighting someone of the same stance. As the jab's coming out, you slip to the outside of the jab so it goes past your head, and then you come up under their arm. So basically the punch is coming up under their armpit, catching them there.
I
Yeah,
imagine
it's
you're
very
quite
difficult.
heavy over, which is making it hard to throw, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah,
is
it
that
is.
right?
It is. But then that's what's aiding the slip. Like you
Yeah.
slip past the punch, so it comes past you here. So you're over like towards your lead leg anyway, and then you twist and come to the centre. Chris Weidman just called out Hamzat. Is that right? Yeah.
Where?
Happy days. That's brave of him.
Yeah,
Brave of
especially after his losses. He was almost going to get cut, wasn't he?
How didn't we talk about Adesanya Jones yet? Because I want it to be booked before it's.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks fat. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Chris Weidman against Hamzat. Like Weidman's tough, durable, great wrestler. He's taken some shots in his last few fights, and we've just not seen enough of Hamzat in the UFC to really understand what he's fully capable of. And a fighter in the UFC and a fighter before they get to the UFC are different anyway. And he's hit a different stride recently. I'm excited to see him. I really am.
I would like to see Darren Till against Hamzat,
Yeah.
to be honest.
He needs to focus on.
He does
on
need to
Hermansson,
focus
though.
on Hermansson.
Hermansson's a problem. He's just awkward. Like he's got weird timing. He's bouncing around all the time. He moves in and out of range with confidence. He hits with power. He throws kicks full power. And then obviously we know he's got that Joker team that he uses all the time. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Jonathan Martinez as well.
That kid's a psychopath.
Yeah,
That's
he's
been the
like
general-
really nervous as
Yeah.
well, ain't he?
But that's been the general vibe of him after the fighter meetings. He's a bit mad. Like he's quiet. Like he came in and sat down, and he's like real nervous and real shy. But then right before the end of his interview, he's like, oh yeah, no, I used to have a bunch of fights on the street. He's like, oh, I've got one on my phone, and he pulls this video on his phone of when he's like 16. And he would he'd fight any of the kids in the neighborhood that were acting like they were tough guys,
Yep.
just because he loves fighting. But he just doesn't have that vibe about him. You
No.
know what I mean? He's got like well, as Mark Montoya kept saying to me, vote for Pedro, vote for Pedro. Like, that's his thing, vote for Pedro.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I love that movie. But he's a legit fighter. And he doesn't want any attention. He doesn't want any fame. He's not interested in any of that. He just wants to fight.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about him. And his knee knockouts have been wicked as well recently. That's a fun fight because I'm a big fan of Thomas Almeida, and he's taken some time off. So I'm interested to see what he comes back.
Be a nice way
comes
to
back
open
at.
up the main event.
Well, yeah,
Well, the
yeah.
main card.
Yeah. We're stacked with good fights this weekend.
Yeah.
And everyone watched last weekend's card. A lot of these guys were sitting in quarantine watching it because we have a live feed
That's
on
a
the
good
channels.
point.
Yeah. We have a live feed on the channel in the hotel. So everyone that's in quarantine, is able to watch the fights while they're in quarantine without Fight Pass or anything. So they will have all been sitting watching those fights and thinking, oh shit, what a knockout, what a knockout. We're going to get some performances this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. That second fight of the night's not going to last very long.
Antigulov.
Antigulov always fights like he's in a hurry. Like, he always fights like he's in a hurry. And sometimes it works out for him, other times he just runs on to knockouts. John Phillips against Jun Young Park is going to be an interesting one, given the fact that they both like to stand and box. John Phillips has got heavy hands. Jun Young Park eats the lead leg up and picks people off as they're coming in. Good jab. Lost his debut by Anaconda to Anthony Hernandez, but then he beat Marc-Andre Barrio in his last fight by decision. And Barrio was just marching forward, which was a good prep for the John Phillips fight. Malarkey against Faraz is going to be a war. Jillian Robertson, her ground game is slick, and I'm thinking that she's going to try and get Poliana Botelho to the floor. But Botelho is a heavy lead leg fighter, likes to stand and trade. Quite happy to mix it up. Good body kicks as well. She stopped Shiri Kondo with a body kick, dropped her against the fence, and she hurt what's her name as well, Princess Tiger. What's her name? Kicked her in the body and really hurt her in the first round as well. Gamrot against Kutadzeladze. We've already spoken about that.
Is that
one.
a bit of a similar fight for Gillian to Macy Barber?
Yeah, a little bit. a little bit. And I think she realises it as well. I think she knows that she needs to stay off the fence and be confident in her striking exchange. She was very frustrated after that fight.
Yeah.
But partly because she knew that was kind of what she was up against, and that was what was potentially going to happen.
I sat down with her and watched that back with her as well, which was cool.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Benil Darush donating his win purse to opening an orphanage? That's cool. I didn't see that. That is
that's
cool.
awesome. With big respect.
Yeah.
Big respect. Yeah. We need
more
we
people
need,
like that.
Yeah, we need more people like that. Oh, John Phillips.
Oh, John Phillips is here. Stan's just going to go MC John. Dan could beat James Vick. I think most people.
Stand by. Next fighter to the stage in the middleweight division, John Phillips.
James Vick blocked me on Instagram a long time ago. What's up, man? Here he is, John Phillips.
$186 for John Phillips.
186 for John Phillips. John fighting Jung Young Park. Well, he blocked me because obviously I'm a big Gaethje fan, and he was going in on Gaethje, calling him the Homer Simpson of MMA and whatever. And then when he got knocked out the day after, he posted a picture of a shotgun. Posted a picture of a shotgun. I think I wrote, "Is that Gaethje's arm?" So that's very funny.
Okay.
So now it's just the face-offs.
Face-offs.
And you're not doing anything for that, right?
I'll read them out, read the names out.
Okay.
That's the challenge. I have to get them all right in quick succession.
Is Dana going to be here for that?
I don't think so. I think we'll have one of the matchmakers do it.
Mike.
You what?
What do you think to the Mike Tyson and
Oh, the Roy Jones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll watch it, but I'm kind of not expecting too much from it. Tyson looks wicked. He actually looks better than Roy Jones does. Roy Jones looks old. I saw him upload a video the other day, and he just looks.
We need to go to Tyson Ranch ASAP, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried some of his product.
I know you did on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, that's why
I think
Joe
Joe
kept
nearly
talking about
OD'd on it,
aliens
didn't
and
he?
stuff. He was like, I'm just sitting back going like,
Trying to talk about mixed martial arts,
yeah.
and Joe's just like, "Hey Jamie, pull up that
find that thing
worm."
where that alien grows out of the alien's face or whatever it was. It's like, Joe's having a good time here.
Yeah.
I brought my own as well because I knew what strain was going to be good for me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I brought a strain that I knew was going to work. And when I got there, Joe was like, "Oh, I've got some Tyson stuff. We should try that." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, fair enough."
Yeah, you've got. It's hard not
Literally 2 puffs, and he was like cross-eyed.
We got some as well.
Did you?
Yeah, the Tyson.
Okay.
Did we?
Yeah, remember I got a little jar of it.
Oh yeah, you did. You got it from the actual dispenser, didn't you? Yeah.
It was nice.
That was a really cool moment, to be fair, because so obviously me and Jamie have never met Joe before, and Dan's been invited to go on Joe Rogan's podcast, so me and Jamie are buzzing. We can't believe it. It's meant to be media day as well.
Oh, it was one.
And Dad lets us off. Lets us come with him to work. But the funny thing is that when you arrived, Joe wasn't even there. So it was just a couple of members of his staff. Puts me and Jamie in the green room. Dan's gone to the toilet or something. Anyway,
I was looking around.
Oh,
I was,
were you?
Yeah, I was looking at his cars and stuff because he's got some cars pulled in there. He's got all of his training equipment and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was having a little walk around, and yeah,
And then
hilarious.
me and Jamie were in the green room, and Joe walks in, and we're obviously like on another planet. Like, can't believe where we are. We see Joe, and Joe's like, "Who are you guys?" And I thought he said, "How are you?" And I was like, "Really good, thanks, mate." And it was only after it sunk in, like, I was like, "Oh," he said, "Who are you?" And then he kind of answered it himself. He was like, "You with Hardy?" I was like, yeah. So when you guys were in the podcast, me and Jamie were like having a look around. It was an incredible studio. They had a turmeric coffee machine.
Oh, it was delicious.
That was
yeah,
something
one of
else,
those,
man.
Yeah.
That was some experience.
Yeah, it was good times. And then we went out to Malibu, didn't we?
We did.
Took a drive through the mountains
That
of
was
Malibu.
fucking cool, man.
It's one of my favorite roads in the world. Like, so, and anybody that knows California will know the 101. So you drive north on the 101, you head out past Encino and or kind of like North Hollywood area, and then as you're driving out, you get to why am I forgetting the name? It begins with a Z.
Oh.
It begins with a Z, a Z. Z. Anyway, I'll figure it out and tell you what it is. That fly loves you, man.
It's the one
that
from
was
your
on
house.
Pence's head. It's followed you here. It's the same one that was on Pence's head in the meet.
Yeah, if you can get it to land on my head, that'd be quality.
Yeah, you can like drive through the Santa Monica Mountains, and then it brings you down to PCH.
Yeah, and we stopped
Pacific
off
Coast
along
Highway.
there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool, man.
It's a good
I've got a
drive,
real
that
cool
is.
shot of the Dodge parked up on the side.
Yeah.
there.
What did we have? Was it the
Yeah,
Challenger?
yeah, man. Oh man.
Lemon haze.
Is that your favourite? Someone just asked.
It's just popped up on there.
Is it? I didn't know that.
It's favourite for working and thinking and training, and Northern Lights for chilling out, relaxing. They're my two favourites. Although I'm a Jack Herrera fan as well.
I'm
Jack
a Jack
Herrera.
Herrera. Yeah.
What else we got? Topanga Canyon. Yeah, no, that's not it. It's that fly loves you. I'll find it. I'll find the road name because I keep wanting to say Zuma, but that's the beach. It begins with a Z. I'll find it. I'll find the name of it. Yeah, man. I love that road. That was one thing I miss about living in California is how quickly you can get to the beach. Because I used to live in the valley. I lived in Hollywood for a while, but then you kind of
lived in the valley?
yeah.
Sick.
I lived on Melrose Avenue to start with, and you just kind of get jammed up in traffic every time you try and leave your house.
Fucking beautiful though, ain't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
man.
wicked.
Oh my god. Where the Hollywood Hills are, that when you've got to like go up them like steep roads and there's like houses built in. Oh
Yeah.
my god, they are nice.
Yeah, I can't help but think about Tool though when I'm driving up there.
Really, you
And,
can listen to it a lot.
No,
right?
it's the
Or is it
line
in the music?
about the song where he's singing about California sliding into the ocean, and he's I'll meet you down in Arizona Bay. Learn to swim.
Sick.
What's the? It's hard for Enema, the album Enema. Yeah,
I think San Diego is probably one of my favourite places that I've been there.
yeah.
San Diego was wicked, man.
Whereabouts?
Bonita.
Bonita, is that what it was called? I can't remember the names of it, but
That's where we stayed. Anyway.
Where we stayed was like amazing. The house was like grand designs.
Yeah, it's
too
like we're in
cute.
GTA or
Yeah,
something.
it was GTA house. But yeah, San Diego's awesome place. Love that.
Canaan Road. Go north on the 101. You turn off onto Canaan Road. You make a left at the lights, and that takes you through the Santa Monica Mountains. It's one of my favourite drives in the world. It's wicked because you go up there, and it takes you like kind of through the peaks, and then it drops you down the other side, and as you're swinging around the side of the mountain, Malibu comes into view, and it just takes my breath away. Get a bit of Dire Straits on the.
When they open back up,
we're going.
Yeah, we're going.
We're going. We've got a plan. We've got a documentary coming out.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. I've been researching and preparing for this documentary, and I can't wait.
Are we allowed to give him a teaser or not?
Yeah, Jeet Kune Do is the teaser. We're going to go and learn from one of the masters, one of the greats of all time. One of the greats of all time. One person I've always wanted to train with and I've never had the chance. And I've been buying up and reading all of his books again recently, and he's incredible. He's incredible. Tool are amazing.
Yeah, we went to go see them, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah, we did. We've done a lot of shit, haven't we?
We have, bro.
Damn. Yeah, they played Sultans of Swing, that's the one. Yeah. That was, what fight week was that? Was it the last one?
No.
It was McGregor Cowboy, wasn't it?
Was
Yeah.
it? Yeah, and they were playing on the Friday night, and we didn't find out until media day, did we?
How you doing?
Yeah, we didn't find out till media day that they were playing. We're like, we've got to go. We've got to go. Managed to get some tickets. Oh, amazing! Their new album's just incredible.
The light show was fucking insane as well, wasn't it, man?
Have you? Yeah.
Just unedibles, just.
Hang on. Stephen Monash, sadly, I'm old enough to have met Bruce Lee. Sadly, you're old enough to have met Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
I'd have liked to have stood in the same room as that man for 60 seconds. That's incredible.
How
Down in
old-
DeSanto, exactly. Yeah.
How old do we think Steve is?
Well, what, Bruce Lee died in, 72? So, he would have probably have to been born in the 50s, I would say. He's probably in his 60s, 70s now.
That's cool.
That'd be my guess.
What's this? Charlie Mason. That's my mate. What's it?
What's it?
Yes,
Easy,
Wad.
Wadley dog.
What's Charlie said? Because it's made Wad laugh. I need to find that. Sorry, one sec.
Charlie Mason.
Mystery's good. Wasn't that good.
Have I trained with Jocko? I haven't. No, I haven't.
Somebody asked, have you trained with Renato, what's his face? You know, the crazy dude from Brazil?
Renato Laranja?
Yeah. Go on, you must have some funny stories.
Absolutely.
With Eddie Bravo?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, let's hear some.
Well, you know that's a character, right?
No.
Renato Laranja's a character.
He's a character?
Yeah, he's a character. He's a comedian. He's a comedian. He's a character. He's a really.
Has he like fallen into it though a little bit?
No. He's a legit black belt under Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, 100%.
He is a
I
legit
know
black
that.
belt, but he's developed this character. He's American. He speaks an American accent. But like he developed this character, which is brilliant. It's just kind of poking fun at just generally, jiu-jitsu culture. But he's brilliant. But like if you go back to like some of the old 10th Planet days. So before 10th Planet moved into Legends MMA in Hollywood, it was in another gym called the Bomb Squad. And the Bomb Squad was a Muay Thai gym. And here's another little interesting fact for you. The Muay Thai guy off Bloodsport, it was his gym.
Was it?
Yeah, I used to train with him. He was wicked.
Sick. You've trained with some fucking cool people.
Yeah,
like,
man. I've been around.
Ye-
Rasan Orange, that's his name. That's correct.
Even Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz, yeah.
But he wasn't Joey Diaz when you knew Joey Diaz, right?
Well, I mean,
or
was
it?
Yeah, he's always been Joey Diaz. His stock has grown over the years, as well as a bunch of other things. I remember walking into Legends once. You got that one, nice one. I walked into Legends once, and he was filming a little skit. And this whole thing had been
Joey?
Yeah, Joey Diaz was. He was standing between the punch bags and talking about a fight that was coming up. And so they'd gone to American Apparel, which was around the corner from the gym on Hollywood Boulevard. And for whatever reason, they've got these like Game of Death suits. They're like yellow suits with the black stripes down the arms. So he's standing there in this Game of Death zip up, like all-in-one jumpsuit, which obviously he couldn't zip up. He's got it on backwards because the zip's on the back. He's got it on backwards so the zip's on the front, and the zip's sitting right underneath his belly button, and it's like just burst open. And he's like recording this skit, and he's like sweating, and he's all fucking grossing this thing up. And afterwards he took it off, put it back in the bag, and went and returned it.
To American Apparel.
Yeah, he never even took the tags off it. Gross. So someone's got a Joey Diaz Game of Death jumpsuit, which has got too much sweat and DNA on it for my liking. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely off his.
One of my favourite moments
licking a
that
toad.
you gave to me and Jamie was dropping us off at the Comedy Store, which is already soaked in so much history, like
Yeah.
so much comedic history. And it was Joey Diaz opening up for Joe Rogan at the Comedy Store. It was just, that was something else, man.
Nina, how are you? Good. All good, man. Yeah. Yeah, good night that was.
That was amazing. So cool, man.
California, man. It's one of my favorite
And then we went
places.
to
What's
this
up?
place,
Oh, yeah.
Danny
Trejo's
Trejo's taco
Yeah.
shop. Legitimately
delicious,
his shop as well.
They were delicious.
They were delicious,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I remember on the way over there, you were like, is he going to be serving tacos? I'm like, you're fucking serious. He's a Hollywood superstar.
Well, do you know what? Do you know why I got that? It's because, you know Bill Murray?
Yeah.
So in Brooklyn, his son owns a restaurant, and Bill will just turn up and he'll just serve
Really, yeah.
he'll work a night shift or something just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
and-
different, isn't he, Bill Murray?
Oh
He's
yeah,
different.
yeah. But Trader and Bill Murray, they've got. I don't know. I can imagine them to be good mates. To be fair.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Similar-
Fish taco life.
Yeah.
That's what someone's just put on there.
Man, it is all about the tacos.
It is an amazing place. If you're in Hollywood, go and check out Trejo's Tacos. Oh, it's delicious. It is so delicious. I'm like, don't even know where to start.
No,
Walking, I'm like
no.
staring at the menu. I'm like, where's the red mohawk? I left it at home. Yeah, it'll come back. It'll come back. It needs cutting down. It's long at the moment. That's why I've got my hat on. Keep it under control.
Jeez. That is a long mowing.
We'll have to punk it up. Maybe next week once I've called the fights this weekend.
What would you used to put sugar water?
Sugar water.
That's the one.
Yeah, man. You just gotta stay out the rain. But it dries solid.
Really?
Yeah, it dries solid. But yeah, there are very few things that you can use to keep a mohawk standing up. And it has to be
PVA
like-
glue.
Yeah, PVA glue's a good one.
How
But
do you
that-
get that out there?
Just hot water.
Really? It's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
simple?
Just hot water and shampoo for PVA glue.
Did you ever try that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. It's
I
another thing
used
I've
to
always wanted.
love putting PVA.
On your hands and
Bro,
peeling it off.
mate,
Yeah,
it was
mate.
like a hobby of mine.
Sure. Hobby. I don't know if that counts as a hobby. Some people collect stamps. Other people like glue on their hands.
It'd clean them as well, like incredibly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You'd pull it off.
It's like when you peel an orange and you try and do it in one.
Yeah.
See if you get your whole hand.
yeah.
Peeling an orange in one is a skill.
Yeah. Used to use Elmer's glue. I've not heard of that.
Elmer's glue.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Isn't that from Sesame Street? Is that
Elmo.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's some kind of something about Mary
Yeah.
kind of glue.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person now. In what context, Johnny Burrito? I'm really not. I'm just a bit older now. Red mullet.
What explains a lot. I assume he's chatting about me.
Sandro, what's my day-to-day
Oh,
life like when I'm at
PVA
home?
glue hand.
It's just martial arts all the time.
It is.
Books and training and writing on the walls. I do love writing on walls. You want to see my hotel room at the moment? I've got all the fight cards written on the wall in the hotel room in chalk marker. So I feel sorry for the person that's going to come and clean it up.
You on chalk now?
Yeah, chalk marker. Chalk marker, because you can write on like mirrors and glass and stuff, and it just
of
wipes
course.
off.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks wicked.
Any chance you'll make full reptile content?
No. This is the worst ever. This is the worst ever, Chris. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. I'm not sure why you're having such a bad day, but I hope it starts to improve for you. You can always exit the chat. Where's the face-to-face? This is going to start very soon. 7 minutes we'll be doing the face-offs. What fight this weekend are you most excited for? Really, the Gamrot against Kutataladze fight. That's the one I'm most excited for. Kraus Claudio Silva's up there as well. Obviously, the main event's an easy pick. But the first fight of the night, Striegel against Nurmagomedov. I mean, because I know what Saeed's capable of. He's a talented fighter. He's got good striking, good spinning kicks. Mark Striegel's a hell of a wrestler with some really interesting submissions.
Do you think Khabib will be in his corner?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe not, given the fact that it's
He's
they're
fighting
already
so soon.
But they don't train together, do they? I don't think Saeed trains with Khabib.
Has he not been out in that?
Yeah,
Dubai
I'm not sure whether he's been
thing?
training with him for this time, but I don't think they train together generally. What's this? Self-defense skills. Yeah, we've got Lessons of War coming out soon.
Yeah, in fact, go over to lessonsofwar.ninja and subscribe.
Lessonsofwar.ninja. I had to get it. As soon as they released the .ninja websites, I just grabbed them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff coming out. Lessons of War we've got coming out. We're going to put some nunchaku instructionals up on the channel so you can just have a play about with them. They'll all be available for free. Lessons of War will be a very, very reasonable price though, because we've got to keep Jimmy in tape for his thumbs. Tape and Monster Energy drinks.
So, this is the last card you're working on the desk, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for the Khabib fight, you'll just be running around with your camera trying to get.
Yeah, I've got my film camera with me. I got my Canon, my Olympus OM10.
Very
I'm going to
cool.
be running around taking a few photos with that to add to the collection. Got some wicked photos that no one's ever seen. I've got some really cool ones. I'm going to post one of Khabib next weekend.
Sick.
That one where he's coming off the scales. Do you remember at
Yes.
252?
Yeah.
One of my favourite photos I've taken. Because it was like, stop ignoring questions about the Condit fight. Vickers, chill out, dude. Like, how many times have I been asked this question? You know the answer to that question. Of course I'll take that fight. Like, oh my goodness. This whole cut and pasting thing's obnoxious.
Dan, any young English talent coming up you can tell us about?
There's loads coming up. There's loads. I mean, I'm real high on Adam Amasinger just because I know what he's capable of. Terry had a rough weekend the other weekend.
He did.
Caught,
but Terry's a beast.
I think he's going to go back up to welterweight, which is the smart thing to do.
And Adam's been signed to Paradigm Sports.
He has, yeah.
Audiatars, who is McGregor's manager.
Yeah.
So he might get a few treats from that.
Thoughts on Ortega's hair?
What do you say? As soon as Jamie said it earlier, could be for the weight. I was like, damn, that is a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but then again, it could just be a get you in the mindset kind of statement.
Yeah.
You know?
Down moment last night.
Yeah. Maybe the hairdryer.
I wonder what he's done with
Book
it.
recommendations. I've just started Immortality Key by Brian Marescu, who was on Joe Rogan's podcast the other week, and that's really interesting.
Oh yeah, what, the white guy with Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Graham Hancock does the foreword for it.
What's that about then?
It's about the influence of psychedelics in religion.
Very cool.
In a nutshell. But really interesting. I mean, the podcast's amazing. It's worth watching the podcast first to kind of set you up for the book.
What was some of the most poignant things from it that you can give us? Or your favourite?
Well, they were talking about the influence of psychedelics on like Greek philosophy, Roman philosophy, and those kind of things, and how like there were certain places that you could go to have these experiences, and basically what John Marescu is doing is he's trying to research to find out what was in these potions that they were drinking, and he goes through a whole variety of different things and different types of wine that adds things, because they used to put things in wine to like to alter the wine. I mean, like various different things. Fly agaric is one of the things, or what's the other name for it? Fly agaric. That's the red mushroom that's got all the white spots all over it. Sorry. It's got another War of the Worlds, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah, like they used to put stuff into wine to alter it. Ergot. There you go. That's something else. That's what LSD is derived from.
Ergot is what LSD is derived from. Is it really?
Yeah. And they were talking about like different fermentation processes and that kind of stuff. It's fascinating. I'm never going to do it justice because that's not my.
You were
that's not
talking
my area.
about before the face-offs quickly start. You were talking about doing a Roman philosophy something or other.
I've actually just been looking at it online. I'm going to start a philosophy degree soon, but I think I'm going to do philosophy and politics. Just to give myself a reading list.
But you were going to go to Greece or somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And actually,
that's what I'll
and you
do
have to
before.
have red wine. Like,
I've
what's that?
got
What's
to.
that?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of it, isn't it? Because I don't drink. I haven't drank since I was 17. But for some reason, red wine keeps coming up, and I feel like I'm moving towards the philosophy stage of my life, where a glass of red wine and a book on Socrates is gonna do me some good. So we'll see. But that's coming up soon. I definitely think. There's a lot of interesting information out there that I would like in my brain about that kind of stuff, and this book that John Marescu's written.
I'd like to do that with you, man.
Yeah, it's. So are you pagan now? Well, I mean, kinda, I guess. I mean, does witchcraft count? I think paganism's fascinating, especially because if you read into it about Stonehenge and the Druids and stuff, and basically it's nothing to do with religion, it's nothing to do with good and evil or anything like that. It's to do with nature. It's to do with understanding the cycles of nature, the moon
Paganism
cycle.
is.
Paganism, yeah. I find it fascinating. My book is in stock on the Full Reptile website, and if you buy one and put a note to Owen when he's fulfilling the order, I mean, obviously he'll have to hold it back until I get home. But I'll sign the books before I send them out. I don't mind doing that.
Legend.
Halloween's a pagan holiday. Christmas is actually a pagan holiday.
Halloween's a pagan holiday?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that was one thing that was interesting about that immortality key. He talks about the connection of Santa and Christmas and the fly agaric mushroom, and how
The fly guy, the red one.
yeah, there's
I didn't
another
actually
name
know
for
that
it.
was a psychedelic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I
You
just
used to buy it over
assumed
the
it was a
counter in
poison.
Australia.
Really?
Back in 2012, I was down on the Gold Coast. December 21st, 2012, I sat on the beach and ate some and watched a meteor shower. Listened to the Doors.
That's
Pretty
cool.
off the charts. It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, so like, because this is where the whole kind of the presents under the tree thing comes from, and you unwrap the presents, and they suggest that because a lot of the old Christmas cards back in the UK in the old days, they all had these mushrooms on them, and the mushroom is synonymous with Christmas, and the idea that the presents are under the tree is where the mushrooms grow, and it's fascinating stuff. Yeah.
Alan Watts.
Yeah, Alan Watts. Yeah.
And they do.
Charlie's saying you used to be able to buy
It's
them
an
at Very
animation.
Bazaar.
Yeah. I bet you did. You could. They were only been recently put on a different list.
Have they?
Yeah.
I remember when you could buy weed from the Very Bazaar.
Anita Muscara. Well done, thank you. I can't remember the name of it. I
Anita
think-
Muscara.
Yeah, Fly Agaric's the other name, but Anita Muscara is the name that most people are aware of. Right, I think they look like they're lining up for face-offs. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
So Dan's going to go MC these face-offs. I wonder if Dana's going to be here.
See what?
So now you're just left with the legend. The translucent bold fish in the house. Some more hardy... What's Wad saying? Some more hardy knowledge bombs being dropped. Remember you telling me the mushroom one before. So we're just about to have the face-offs now. Everyone's weighed in. No one's missed weight. I don't think anyone's missed weight since we've been here, to be fair. I could be wrong there, but as far as I can remember, I don't think anyone's missed weight. Another interesting thing about these face-offs that isn't typical for typical face-offs is that both fighters are stood next to each other right now. And they come out from the same door, from the same place. So usually at the UFC Apex in Vegas, the blue corner will come from the right side and the red corner will come from the left side, and they'll meet in the middle on the stage and then go off. But right now, they're just all next to each other, which is pretty interesting. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 11 fights on this card, 11 face-offs about to happen now. I'm not sure which is going to be the most fiery of face-offs, but who's that dude that was screaming earlier, Jamie? Forgot his name. No, it wasn't John Phillips. No. Was it Jimmy Crew?
No, I think it might.
It's the dude with the glasses.
It wasn't nobody on the main card, because the main card they were.
I think it was.
It wasn't the main card. Maybe.
Was it Mateus Gamma?
It could be Jamie Malarkey, to be fair. Yeah.
No, Jamie Malarkey was the one who had the towel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it was Gamrot. It was Gamrot. Gamrot that came out screaming. Yep, and if I just looked at the comments, they would have already just helped me there. So thank you, Loaded Films. Appreciate that one, brother. So this will all be in order. So we're going to have. Oh, Dana's here. Don't whack it on him, Jamie. So Dana is entered the building. Oh, they know what. Here he is. The boss man.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the weigh-ins face-offs. Let's get these rattle through these fights pretty quickly. We've got the bantamweight division kicking off the night. We have Mark Striegel against Saeed Nurmagomedov.
So we've got Saeed Nurmagomedov and Mark Striegel. So this is Khabib's cousin. Got a lot of Korean fans in the house. Hello to my Korean brothers.
Next up in the light heavyweight division, Max Grishin against Gadzimurad Antigulov.
Gadzimurad Antigulov against Max Grishin now. Antigulov in the yellow, Grishin in the pink, or the peach. Nice respectful face-off there.
Moving on to the lightweight division, Faraz Ziam against Jamie Malarkey.
Faraz Ziam against Jamie Malarkey. Ooh, finger in the face. I don't think you can see that. Ooh, what's going on here? Interesting. Faraz Ziam coming in spicy.
Next to the stage in the middleweight division, John Phillips against John Young Park.
So John Phillips against Jung Young Park. Ooh, what's this? Another finger, another wavy finger. So John Phillips' last fight was oh, John trying to get a selfie and he dropped it. Very cool. I thought that was going to end up a bit spicy, but
Next up in the women's flyweight division, Poliana Botelho against Gillian Robertson.
Poliana Botelho against Gillian Robertson. Poliana coming in first and Gillian following. Obviously we know who Gillian is with the red hair. Ooh.
And the featured bout of the preliminary card, Guram Katataladze against Mateus Gamrot.
Mateus Gamrot against Guram Kutaladze. There you go. Got it out. Girls are cool. So, Guram Kutaladze
And the first fight on the main
has
card in the featherweight division, Jonathan Martinez against Thomas Almeida.
Hamzat Chimaev in his corner. We all know Hamzat. I heard that they were related, mate. Saeed Nurmagomedov's auntie was Khabib's mum. That's what I've been told.
Next up in the welterweight division, James Krause against Claudio Silva.
So James Krause against Claudio Silva. If you haven't gone over and watched Claudio's interview with us, do so because it's fucking brutal. Yeah, I know I butchered it. I butcher all the names.
And in the light heavyweight division, Modestas Bukauskas against Jimmy Crute.
Modestas Bukauskas. Oh my god. Another butcher. There you go. Modestas Bukauskas against Jimmy Crute. There we go. Nah, Chimaev is not fighting Silva Suffer. He's just here. I mean, he'll probably jump in if he wanted to. Modestas is a
And your
Jeez.
co-main event of the evening in the women's flyweight division, Jessica Andrade versus Caitlin Chukagian.
Caitlin Chukagian against Jessica Andrade. I'm high on Caitlin Chukagian. I was speaking to her on the beach about psilocybin, and she has a magic mushroom gum shield. So, something to look out for when she's fighting. So now
And
to
your
the main
of the
event.
evening, 5 rounds in the featherweight division. The Korean zombie Chan Sung Jun against T-City Brian Ortega.
The Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega. This is going to be, in my opinion, fight of the night. A bloodbath, maybe. I mean, we've seen Korean Zombies fights. God damn. Both these guys will probably be in hospital at the end of the night.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night for an excellent card of fights.
And off goes Dana White after cuffing Dan. And here I am. Dana 2.0. Very cool. Thank you everyone for watching. Batia. Just got Charlie's DM. Thanks for watching everyone. Really appreciate everyone joining in. It's been a good
Still
one.
rolling.
Yeah, we're still rolling.
Look who we've got behind us. The legend that is. How are you, sir?
How you doing,
See you,
brother?
my friend.
Nice to see you, man.
Grew up watching that man's fights. Grew up.
You're no joke, yeah?
Huh? A little bit. Not quite as strong as you, though. I remember being at American Top Team in 2004, and it was one of my first days there. Paul Daly and I had gone
You
out
showed
to
me the
train. Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll stick. I'll post it on my Instagram or something.
It'd be good to
And
show him it now. See what.
Oh,
he
he's
thinks.
seen it.
Oh,
Yeah, we were working together at a UFC event in London a little while ago, and I said, "Oh, we've got to replicate that photo from a few years ago," and it was there was about 10 years difference between the two photos. But I'm getting old fast, and he don't look any different anymore. It's crazy. He's kind of stopped. All good.
Dana's doing a scrum in about 15 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Well,
Sweet, we'll just
cruise
live
until
it
the
on-
scrum. Yeah.
Just go live with it.
And I've seen a lot of questions of about Brian Ortega's hair. I don't think he cut it to make weight. I mean, I'll ask him when I see him, but I don't think he did. Yeah, Minotauro is huge. He's an absolute monster. And then if you go back and watch Minotauro against Bob Sapp, then you realise how big Bob Sapp is. Bob Sapp tombstoned him in that fight, knocked
Did
him
he?
out. Yeah, he was unconscious. Yeah, picked him up, slammed him on his head upside down, knocked him out, and Nogueira continued fighting and ended up winning. What a legend. Yeah. Oh, hang on. What's that? Ortega donated his hair. Just scroll.
Is that what I was thinking?
Oh, okay. Fair play to him.
So Brian Ortega donated his hair to a charity that makes wigs for chemotherapy
That's very cool.
patients.
This kid, you boys need to get in contact with him. Macedo Vitor 97. He's going to put some Portuguese subtitles on some of the videos for us.
Oh, sweet.
All
right.
I'll have a look for your message, my friend, and we will get back to you.
Same.
But
Hit us up on Raptors as well if
yeah,
you're struggling.
yeah, we'll get you in contact with these boys. It'd be good to get some, particularly like the war rooms and stuff.
For
Send them
sure.
over and you can subtitle for us.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, mate. Thank you very much.
It's busier in here today, isn't it?
It's chocker. It's going to be even busier next week, man, for
Isn't it?
Khabib and Gaethje.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what's the chat saying?
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that, mate.
I have to stop myself reading some of these things
Yeah,
out.
no.
I see them, I'm like, I'm not reading that out. I'm not reading that out. Such a humble person. Such a humble person. I do my best.
It's cool that we've had a lot of Korean fans in this chat.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Appreciate you guys out there.
Yeah, Gamrot 17-0. That's a hell of a fight. That is. I said that to Dave Lewis as they were weighing in. I was like,
He's the only one that weighed in with some attitude as well.
yeah. But both of those guys bring it. They're both like aggressive strikers. I watched Gamrot's fights with Norman Park this week. They were good fights.
Were they?
Yeah. Norman Park, he's tough and he's durable. He got lit up in those fights. He was pretty badly cut up. He got stopped because of a swelling on his eye. Maybe a silver mohawk. Dude, my hair's getting greyer by the day.
I like it though, man. It looks good. I'm gonna go toilet quickly, James.
Yeah, don't take the mic with you. There's a little trickling sound in the background. Yeah, I'm ready for some more tattoos. I am. What's the sticker on my phone? The sticker on my phone is a full Reptile Collective sticker, which is a parody of. Yeah, we both got one, haven't we? It's a parody of the Gonzo Fist. I'm a Hunter S. Thompson fan, and Thompson had the Gonzo Fist, and so normally where it says Reptile there, it would say Gonzo. The fist has got two thumbs on it. I'm not exactly sure what Thompson was thinking with that, but where the full Reptile logo is on the Gonzo Fist, it's actually peyote flower, which we've switched for the full Reptile logo. So, yeah.
Yeah, someone asked earlier about the sticker on the mic as well. It's not a flame sticker, it's a Raptor flame sticker.
It's a Raptor flame sticker. Yeah, we like to parody stuff that we like. Obviously, I'm a big Hunter S. Thompson fan, and that's where that sticker came. Oh, Dana's here. I think we're going to be rolling into
I had to move the camera around.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
What's up, guys? John? Figured.
Hey, listen, fantastic main event. I mean, I think outside of the pay-per-views, this is the main event people were looking forward to the most. And you said earlier this week it's a #1 contender fight, right? So what is it about this fight that you like so much? I mean, it got rescheduled. Tell us what you like about it.
Listen, we've had an incredible run through COVID. Florida, Fight Island 1, Fight Island 2. It's been an awesome run for us. And listen, I know a lot of you guys are as big a fight fans as I am and love everything about being around this. getting the Zombie and Ortega together finally. I mean, both of these guys are you know, world-class fighters in their prime, in the top 5, and looking for a title shot. So stylistically, this is a fun fight. We're ending our 5-week stint here with 2 badass fights back to back. And I was saying this to Ioli earlier this week, or Akamoto, one of those guys. I had so much fun last weekend at the fight. That fight card last weekend was so much fun. You know, I'm excited. I'm fired up for these fights. Before I came out here, I just watched the cold open for Gaethje versus Habib. It's so fucking awesome. I can't wait for these next 2 fights. I'm excited, and you know, stylistically, this should be a fun one too.
Brian surprised us with his hair. Did you get a chance to talk to him? It turns out he's donating it to charity, but we didn't know if that was planned ahead of time or like he needed it to make weight. Do you know?
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know either. Lene told me that he shaved his head, and yeah, I had no idea. But
So
good for him.
the winner would obviously be lined up for Alexander Volkanovski. Do you know if he can fight in the United States or not, or would we have to wait for that title fight to come back here next year?
I don't know anything. You know, when you guys ask me questions now, if this was last year, I could have told you everything, but I don't know anything anymore. We'll see how this thing plays out. And obviously, when we all leave Fight Island and go home, we're literally days away from the election. And I truly believe that the election is going to have a huge impact on all the bullshit that we've been dealing with for the last however many months. And I'm hoping a lot of this is going to go away after the election.
Sounds good. I want to ask you one more about the featherweight division. Zabit Magomedsharipov, another guy at the top that's kind of been talked about. Do we have an update on him? He was supposed to fight in August. It didn't happen. Do we know when he's fighting next?
Yeah, we're working on something right now for him. He'll get another fight here.
Care to tease what it is?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head. Who? Zaire? Zaire?
Yair.
Oh, Yair.
Yair, put it back together.
The fight's in Zaire.
Hey, we're doing big things.
Yair. I can't hear.
Listen, for the last couple weeks, man, ever since Israel Adesanya, him and John Jones have been going back and forth nonstop, and now Izzy's camp is talking about they want to move up to light heavyweight. I mean, the idea of this super fight seems crazy. Is it a fight that could happen sometime soon? I mean, are you interested enough to say, yeah, let's put this fight together?
Well, you know, we got to talk to him. Obviously, that is a fight that we could definitely make, but I truly think that the winner of Cannonier and Whitaker should get the next shot. You know, he said he'll fight Cannonier. I already beat Whitaker. But the Whitaker fight, if Whitaker wins, makes a lot of sense too. But it's a great problem to have. The problem is that, you know, the winner of this fight, he should actually absolutely get the shot. But you could look at the, you know, Blachowicz fight and say, oh, that's fun too. John Jones is fun. He's got a lot of options. So it's never a bad thing when you have a lot of options. It'd be worse if we were sitting here right now and you're like, who's next? What do you do with this guy? You know what I mean?
Got to ask you about Conor McGregor, of course. He went on Twitter and said, I'm in January 23rd. He mentioned Cowboy Stadium as a possibility, which, you know, who knows. But January 23rd, him and Dustin Poirier, any update on that? Could that be the fight we see if he's saying?
He said yes, and Dustin said yes. So now it's a matter of getting contracts signed. So, you know, listen, we've had a very good relationship with Jones for a long time, and, you know, talked about Dallas, Texas Stadium forever. I'm not going into any arena where we're going to fill a quarter of the arena or half the arena or any of that stuff. So when crowds are ready to come back, we'll do crowds again.
Fair enough. And last one for me, Dan, I wanted to ask you about next week with Michael Chandler. What sold you on him? I can't imagine you watched a lot of his fights in Bellator, you know, so to give him that kind of respect to say, hey, yeah, we're bringing you in and we're going to put you as a backup right away. What was it about him that caught your eye, say, this guy deserves it?
I like people who want to fight. I'm in the fight business, and I make fights every weekend. Every weekend. We've been here for 5 weeks putting on fights every weekend for 5 weeks. And before that, we were in Vegas doing the Contender Series and all the other fights. That's what we do, and I like people who want to fight. And I always say it all the time. I've been saying it since the beginning of this, and I'll say it again. If you don't want to fight, nobody's pushing you to fight. You don't have to fight. Nobody's being forced to fight here in the UFC. So if you don't want to fight, no problem. Step out of the way. There's somebody who does.
Hey, Dana. Just going off the back of that, Islam Makhachev obviously lost his opponent, Rafael dos Anjos. Did you go to Michael Chandler and say, hey, do you want that fight?
No, Michael Chandler's here for the other fight. That's what he's here to do. That's what he's focused on. He if anything bad were to happen, he will fight Gaethje or Khabib. That's it. That's all that kid has to worry about. We'll get him a fight when this is over, and we're working on a fight for Islam right now too.
So, a couple of outside the thing, the current sports thing. Mike Perry said he was going to auction off a position in his corner recently. I was wondering, is that something the commission has to approve? Are you allowed to?
No, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
And then similarly, John Jones recently confirmed a long-running story that he hid under a cage to avoid the drugs test. Is there a statute of limitations?
What happened?
John Jones told Israel Adesanya on Twitter that he hid under a cage at the gym to avoid being tested because he thought he was going to pop for marijuana. I was wondering, is there a statute of limitations on the commission being able to go back and say, you avoided a drugs test?
They don't test for marijuana.
Oh, okay. It's pre-USADA, I think.
Yeah, if what he was worried about was marijuana, they don't test for marijuana anyway. Well, pre-testing, leading up. If it was within the fight window, you know, he'd have been here and he'd have got tested anyway.
Maybe it's just
by the athletic commission. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but yeah, no, they don't test for, unless you're in competition. They're not testing for marijuana anyway.
Hamzat Chimaev is here on Fight Island. He says that he wants to fight December 19th, but there's no opponent yet. Have you got an update on him?
We will. We're working on it. He's been a hard guy to get an opponent for, so we're all over it. We'll have something done for him. I was hoping it would be done yesterday or today, but it's not. So we'll get it done.
Is that a welterweight or middleweight, or are you just trying to find?
He doesn't give a shit. First guy to raise his hand and say he wants to fight him, he's in it anyway.
Chris Weidman actually called him out a little bit.
I saw that. Yeah. Well, Chris Weidman is one of the guys we were talking to.
Trying to get him in December instead of January.
We're trying to get. He wants to fight. You know him. If we can get him a fight in December, he'll fight that and probably fight in January too. So, which will piss everybody off again.
And last thing from me, the Ultimate Fighter, is that, you were talking about it with Conor and Khabib, and then you said that fell apart. Do you have a set date for its return, or are you still working on when it could be back?
We do. Is anybody in the room that knows the set date for the Ultimate Fighter? No, when we're going to start filming. Yeah, it's when I get home.
And who are the coaches?
Not yet. We don't have anybody yet.
Thanks, Dave.
We'll let this thing play out, and I mean, there's been times where we've had the coaches days before we were getting ready to film.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Daniel here. Any update on Usman, Burns, Masvidal, or Covington? I know a lot of people expected them to fight.
That's all still being worked on. Yeah.
And then the bantamweight title fight between Jan and Sterling was finally announced. Why did it take so long to officially announce it? Were you just waiting to see how Moraes looked against Sandhagen?
Yeah, no. We're just here, and you know, this year fucking sucks, and it's just been a crazy year. You know what I mean? It's just everything. You guys are used to the way things were done, and now it's just a completely different world. So we've been dealing with a lot of everybody's, you know, on top of everybody losing their mind right now, and it's been a weird year. You know, it's been without a doubt the most challenging year of my entire career, and if you look at where we came from, that's saying a lot.
And then Corey Sandhagen obviously got the big win. He wants to fight TJ Dillashaw. He's eligible to fight in January. Is that a fight you would be interested in?
No clue. What are we? We're 9 days away or something like that. Week away. I don't know what it is, but when we go home, try to figure out the rest of this year, and then we'll get January, February, and March dialed in, and not just you know, who's going to fight, where we're going to go, and like I just said to him earlier, hopefully a lot of this nuttiness dies down after the election, and we can start looking at venues. Who knows? I don't know the answers to any of these questions yet. You know, just trying to get through Fight Island.
Hey Dana.
Yeah.
Cyril Gane, the French prospect, was supposed to fight tomorrow. His fight has been pushed back for the 5th time now. He's ready to fight. Do you have any updates on what's going to happen to him?
We're working on him and JDS.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Holy shit, I have an answer.
Dana, you mentioned that you're working on a fight for Islam Makhachev. Do you like the idea of him facing Michael Chandler?
No. They just asked me that question. No.
Thank you.
Yep. Good? All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Man, that'll be a good fight.
That's a hell of a fight.
JDS and
I've got goosebumps. I've still got goosebumps with that fight. That's a hell of a fight. Thing is, so what you've got there is you've got a guy, you've got Cyril Gane who's like high on his toes. Okay, mate, you go, mate. You don't want to be making a mess. Cyril Gane, was he 6 fights into his career fighting a former champ? Like, Gane's got great footwork, great movement, high work rate, really good like variety of striking in his game. But we've seen him with a couple of submissions as well now. JDS is the boxer of the division. You know what I mean? What a fight that is! What a fight that is! If they make that, I mean, that's a hell of an opportunity for Cyril Gane and a hell of a validation for him as a fighter. You know, to get that fight.
kind of a proven fight in that division.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, if Cyril Gane beats JDS, there are no prospect fights for him anymore. Like every fight from that point on is a big fight. You know what I mean? Then you're just gonna keep rolling him through. Like I mean, if he comes through that one, I'd like to see him fight Rosenstrike. That'd be a good one.
It'd be a good, obviously as well. It's been made legal in France now as well, so he could headline.
Yeah.
Perfect person to headline a card in France.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. But I mean, heavyweight's mad at the moment. Like, you look at all the guys that we've got coming through. Like the guys that we had on the card last week, we've got Chris Daukas was on the card. Obviously, Tom Aspinall on the card. The guy I'm keeping my eye on as well is Tanner Bosa. Like the only time he's lost in the UFC was to Cyril Gane. That was by decision. And I just he's weighing in at the top of the scales, but moves like a middleweight. Like heavyweights are getting faster, they're getting leaner, they're getting quicker, they're getting smarter, more well-rounded.
I liked Tabora last week as well.
Yeah,
he looked
Tabora
good.
Looked good as well.
His head movement was wicked.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was really good. The one thing with Tabora, for him to get to the top, is he needs to get some stoppages. That's the thing he's missing at the moment. Submission or KO in the main event, I just don't know. I always say this when somebody asks me what I think of a fight that I'm commentating on. I always quote Mark Goddard, and I can't be preoccupied with what I think might happen, because then I'll start subconsciously looking for it in the fight. You know, I always try and stay as even as I can. He's a full reptile. The first question. Yeah, we'll get there. We like to let the old boys do their bit first. We'll let you fight now. We're fucking so white. Yeah, I'm cleared to fight. I went back and had a bunch more tests, and it was some kind of mix up. Well, I mean, I'm asymptomatic, so it's not an issue for me now. We get to 100,000 subscribers. Will I shave my head? Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll donate a mohawk to.
We could shave a YouTube logo into it.
Yeah. Hey, we'll be getting our. Don't we get a plaque or something at 100,000?
Yeah, a silver plaque.
Is that right?
And a gold one for $1 million, I think.
Brilliant. I'm having it made into a T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get that. We'll have to get a YouTube 100,000 subscriber T-shirts with a full Reptile and Raptors logo in it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that plaque.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully by Christmas Day.
Talk about Ryan Hall. What do you want me to talk about? He's a fascinating individual who's got a very unique approach to the game. I
big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, big Star Wars fan. A huge nerd, you know, as most of us are. But I want to see him. I want to see him in a war. I want to see if he's got the ingredients to come through a war. Because oftentimes the highly analytical fighters, they tend to stall a little bit because they're overthinking things. But he's certainly a very, very interesting individual. He did that Lex Friedman podcast. I started listening to that.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
Although I'm not sure about his, best martial artists of all time, throwing out military generals in there. I get his point, but they had a war council, you know what I mean? So a lot of credit is given to the one person in charge of the army, when in actuality a lot of decisions were made by a group. But yeah, fair play.
I know what you mean when you say you need to see him in a war as well. He doesn't strike me as the kind of person who's got that grit and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bite down.
We might be wrong, but that's,
of course.
that's what I'd like to see from him. That's what I'd like to see.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mystery, you come and sit in. You have the pen mic. Right now. Oh, I'm gonna go and get a refreshment. Back in.
Bonjour. Can you hear me alright?
Yeah, all good.
Mystery versus Goddard 2. I think we can sort that out, can't we? Fucking suplex me in the fucking sea.
That was great though.
So, the UFC do not test for marijuana. Cool. I don't think they test for any, even cocaine until before
Are we
the
like
fight.
in Abu Dhabi? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it is good.
It's Fight Island, literally like UFC summer camp.
Yeah, it's like Disneyland. What's going on? Yeah, alcohol's allowed. There's too much alcohol, to be honest. Causing trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2-for-1 offers. Which is a bit dangerous.
Although I had 10 mojitos the other day, and it didn't do anything really. I haven't been getting hangovers either, which is nice.
This is of all the ice in the
What
drinks.
time is it there? It is 7:35. Charlie, I think we're a bit lagging behind your comments. Looks like majorly lagging, to be fair. Dan's still in the chat on the screen. I can see.
Guerrilla Gaming. Yeah, I think so.
What's
Dan's
that?
got one.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna put out a weed strain soon. I don't know when, but it's in the pipeline. It's called Velocitiva.
Oh yeah,
Velocitiva. Yeah, Velocitiva. Thought someone just shouted down. 3 hours ahead.
Who's gonna get the most violent finish?
Ooh.
I think John Phillips, Jung Yong Park will be pretty brutal fight.
Yeah, if they
Dan
stand
said they're
up.
both stand up boxers, so
Yeah.
throw down. I think that would be
Yeah,
pretty
it
cool.
will be.
Don't know about violent finish, but
I think Caitlin Chikagian is going to finish Andrade with a knee.
Jimmy Crute and Bukaskas as well. I think that'll be a pretty violent.
Yeah. There'll be a few ones, but everyone's, I mean, how long we've been going now? 3 hours and 15 minutes. Fucking long time. Thank you everybody for joining us for all of the, for all the weigh-ins, for the face-offs, for the random chats, for all the questions. Obviously, you could be anywhere, so we appreciate you sticking with us throughout all of this. Had quite a few viewers as well, which is real cool. And thank you to our Korean fans for joining. That's very cool. Where are you guys based? We're based in the UK, but want to be based in Vegas. But we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. And just to sign off, everybody that's watching, I'm going to say my story one last time because why is it only 480? It's not 480, is it?
Nah.
I don't think it's 480, mate.
720.
I think it's 720 to be fair. Just because it's easier to stream. But it doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Not from our end anyway. I'm just going to go over. So the pinned comment in the chats, right? Go over and check this out because it's an interview with Claudio Silva, who's fighting James Krause on this card. And it is the most insane interview about his life growing up in the favelas. He talks about some of the murders he's witnessed, some of the executions he's been like 2 feet away from, people's heads being shot off in front of his face, people opening up people's stomachs and pulling out smuggled cocaine, beheadings in Brazilian jail, people playing football with decapitated heads. It is something else. It is really something else. So I'll sign off with that. The link for that is pinned in the comments, so go over and watch that, because Claudio Silva is quite slept on. He's got really interesting backstory. It was funny as well, because after hearing him tell me all of these crazy stories, at the end of it, we was looking over his fight with Leon Edwards, and I think I asked him, so were you nervous coming out for this fight? And in my head I was like, what a stupid question, man. Like, after what he's been through, like, fighting, it must be just nothing to this guy. So that's a scary place to be for a fighter, in my opinion. So go over and check that out. Jamie's got something coming out with
And Kelly and Sam Greco as well.
Yeah, so go check that out. But once again, thank you so much for joining our chat, our video, our live stream. You could be anywhere else, but you came to Full Reptile, and we all really, really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Here's Mr. Hardy. We're just signing off, dude.
Yeah, I was going to show everybody the shirt. It's the new Full Reptile shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, new Full Reptile shirt available from fullreptile.co.uk.
The true rough house.
Get on there and go get it. But yes, once again, thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate you guys being here. We'll probably go live for a little bit on fight day as well. Maybe for a couple of hours, maybe for the whole thing. We'll see how the chat goes, see what you guys want. But thank you so much again for joining. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate your time, taking time out to watch us. See you again soon.